Phillies blow World Series after 2-1 series lead.
Stop doing this.
Eagles blow second half.
The Game 6 and Game 7s back-to-back. That hurts.
Oh, are you talking about Sixers blow Game 6, Game 7?
Stop.
Celtics, Phillies blow Game 6, Game 7. LCS.
Oh, he's doing the earmuffs. Hey, Memes, can you...
Because there was two of them, so I was wondering which ones you were talking about.
Memes, can you ask Max if he thinks that there's any correlation between starting working on Part of My Take and Philadelphia sports going to shit?
Max, do you think there's any correlation between you starting on PMT and
He's doing the baby.
Philly sports?
He's doing the baby. On today's Part of My Take, we have Skip Bayless in studio. Crazy. Never thought we'd see the day. Skip Bayless on the show. Got to the bottom of a lot of stuff with him. We also learned a new phrase that we'll be taking with us. That I'm gonna tease it. I'm not going to say it.
I'm a different man after hearing it.
I'm a different man after hearing it for sure. We're going to talk Thursday Night Football. We're going to talk playoff baseball. Our Max is back. Max is back. Max. We got week 6 picks and preview. Loaded show for you sending into the weekend. It's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The roller coaster of NFL season is moving right along, and it promises to be a month full of tricks, treats, and of course, touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Running it in from the 1 or an 80-yard bomb. We don't care how they score touchdowns. We want to bet on them. DraftKings heard us and is delivering. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, October 11th, and the 49ers are back. They have won the must-win game in Seattle. Let's start with the 49ers. Brock Purdy's just good.
Well, Brock Purdy has also never lost to the Seahawks. I believe he's now 5-0 against Seattle.
That's a great stat.
Seattle turned into like little mini San Francisco tonight. A lot of red in the stands.
Yeah.
A lot of 49ers jerseys. And there were 2 49ers wives that were sitting in the front row.
Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk and Kyle Juszczyk's wife and George Kittle's wife. And they were able to, we had a double Kittle and a Juszczyk touchdown.
Yeah, we had double Kittle, and they both did the Lambeau leap into their wives' arms.
It was awesome.
And then Juszczyk scored the fullback touchdown at the very end, which was awesome to see. And then he goes up, he does another leap to his kind of a simp move, jumping twice for your wife.
Love it. Guy loves his wife.
Jumps into her arms, and then he gave her a kiss through his face mask.
Love that,
which
too.
I've never seen before.
That's like getting in a fight with a helmet on. Throwing a punch at someone with a face mask.
Yeah.
Same as kissing.
Do you think you've ever done it
with the
helmet on? An NFL player.
Yeah.
An NFL player, yes.
While wearing their helmet?
Let's respect our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's
for
wearing
sure.
the helmet.
For sure. Absolutely. But
Antonio Brown, for sure.
For sure. Probably still to this day.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's just good.
Yeah, he is.
He has wheels. He's moving around. He's throwing guys open.
Yeah, he's good. I just hope that Kyle doesn't start doing the thing where it's just all Brock Purdy all the time.
Well, they had
run
to
the
because
ball.
Jordan
Yeah.
Mason obviously got hurt tonight. He was having a hell of a game. And, the 49ers are good. I wasn't worried about the 49ers. I am worried about the Seahawks. I think their defense has problems. And it's got injuries, but it's also got problems. And it feels like 3 weeks in a row we've just watched the same Seahawks game where they're down and Geno is trying desperately to get them back in it. That pick he threw that basically ended the game, that was tough. And it's just the Seahawks are just in this spot if you just turn on the fourth quarter of a Seahawks game, they're down anywhere between 5 and 12 points, and Geno is desperately trying to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, I think when we said that was a statement loss that they had to the Lions on Monday Night Football, I think the statement was just like, I think we should quit on the season.
Yeah, and
they've looked like a completely different team the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and again, they do have a bunch of injuries. I do love those uniforms, though. Whenever they put on these uniforms, I'm like, man, the Seahawks, this is so much fun. That's a uniform they should keep. They should just wear that all the time. Even changing the logo. I love when teams change the logo.
I thought the best
in the middle
part,
of the field.
The throwback was awesome. I love the old school Seahawks logo, but the old school Seahawks font is awesome too. It's like 1980s. You see that font and you're like, I am in the 80s. That's Steve Largent out there.
Yeah, so as much hand-wringing as there was about the 49ers start, they are on top of the NFC West.
And maybe getting Christian back?
So what was the vague report? Let's go to the big matchup next week against the Chiefs, the 49ers. That's going to be fun. What do the walls say?
I don't know what the walls are saying. The walls said that after week 6 we'll probably know. But on the broadcast they said that they talked to Kyle and they were hoping, 3 or 4 weeks maybe, but they're not sure.
And that's what the walls
with an injury like that with the calf, and he said they went out with a calf injury week 17 last week. You can, figure out the calf and Achilles are close. You just never know with that. So it was a very vague, updated report of they're hoping for 4 to 5 weeks. But anything could happen.
So wait, I'm confused.
Even retirement.
Did the walls talk to Shanahan or did the walls talk to
a different source,
a different person?
It's the original walls. The walls haven't changed anything from the original reporting.
Correct.
Was this walls in Tiananmen Square?
No.
During the protest?
No.
Okay. All right.
The 49ers ran the ball fucking down their throat. I know that it's a little inflated from that last run by Garendo, but 6.9 yards per carry, 228 yards that's bully ball.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And Jordan Mason was on pace. He had 9 carries for 73 yards.
The Niners got a lot of weird injuries again tonight, though. They had Jordan Mason with a shoulder.
George
I think
Kittle with a P.
Shot it up at halftime. Tried to played one play, I believe, and was like, nope, I shouldn't be playing football with whatever it is I have. And then what was Kittle?
A P.
Yeah. Oh, he had to pee.
Yeah.
Dude, just piss your pants.
Yeah.
Come on, George.
Yeah, Tebow, with the stinger.
Tebow with the stinger, shaking his hand out.
And then lost some offensive linemen.
And they also lost another kicker. And their kicker is their backup kicker.
Oh, that was the kicker, that was the kicker, not the punter, yeah.
Yeah, the kicker at the end. So now they got to go find another kicker again.
Get Janikowski back out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get the big Pollock.
He could fucking kick.
Yeah.
He was the original I can kick it from anywhere guy.
Get Doug Flutie doing some drop kicks out there.
What I'm trying to think which team has a good kicker that's not playing well. I guess those kind of don't go together. But what if the Cowboys lose, if the Cowboys start losing, would they trade Aubrey for a third rounder?
Dicker
the kicker.
Get Dicker up there.
Get Dicker the kicker. That was enough football talk. We got more football talk coming up with NFL Week 6 picks and preview. Let's talk some playoff baseball. You know what? Let's talk about the other series first. The Yankees advance. So we have maybe we were the problem with New York City, boys, because Monday is shaping up to be an all-time city day in New York City. You got the Mets at 4 o'clock. You have the Yankees at 7 o'clock. And then you have the Jets playing the Bills, both New York City teams, kind of. New York State and then New Jersey playing at 8:15. It's the center of the world.
Yeah.
Finally, ESPN. Finally, Stephen A. Smith can say who he's rooting for.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, I guess, if you're a New Yorker. For everybody else, we're going to be like, okay, enough New York.
Yeah.
But
it hasn't happened in a while.
The Liberty, they're not playing, right, on Monday?
I don't know if they're playing on Monday. Also, we talked about pinstripes. I think Giancarlo gets his pinstripes for this series alone. He basically staved off the Royals and was like, nope, it's not going to end now, because he was awesome the last 2 games in Kansas City. And we also had the rare Liberty, when is that? Game 3, Sunday. we had the rare benches clearing conversation. That was cool.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, they had a benches clearing conversation.
I liked that. I like
they just talked.
Did anybody come out of the dugouts?
Yes.
Okay. Did they sprint out of the dugouts?
It was kind of like
You mean to say bullpen?
Yeah, I meant to say bullpen.
I don't think.
Benches-
I don't think the bullpen. I think it was the dugouts.
Okay.
So it was benches clearing conversation. It was a bang play at second base, and then they were like, "Hey, that's wrong." And then another guy came out and said, "Hold on, wait a second. You don't say that to my teammate. You're wrong." And then they all just stood around and basically were
just talked it out.
It's Max is
Cooler
gonna pull it
heads
up.
prevailed.
It was very funny. I like the benches clearing conversation. Just everyone had to get in on the conversation.
I've been watching a lot of old school 80s baseball clips recently.
Yeah.
It was a different sport at second base.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it wasn't even like a dangerous play or anything. It was just kind of like, hey guys, let's all come out and have a conversation real quick.
Yeah, I think that guy even said "my bad," and the other guy's like, "It's okay."
Yeah, the bullpen came out.
Oh, the bullpen!
Yeah.
I love it when the bullpen catchers get up and sprint out onto the field.
But they just sprinted to have more of a conversation.
Yeah, then they sprint onto the field. Then they stand at the back of the big crowd.
There wasn't even really a shove thrown. Like it was. Sometimes you'll get like chest to chest, looking like our friend Jimmy Tatro when they have the fights in Real Bros. We didn't even really get that. Just a nice little conversation.
Like somebody said the F word.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, we all have to come out here and say the F word.
And then the other two series, we have Game 5 for both, which I'm very excited for. Padres, Hugh Darvish, going back to L.A. That's going to be a great game. Do we know who's starting for the Dodgers yet?
It was not up earlier when I checked. I'll check again. It was not up.
And then I know college football Saturday is a loaded slate, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited for Scooble to pitch Game 5.
Yeah, that's going to be great. But
That's his moment.
With the Padres game, I like the new wrinkle that's been added to it because we talked about Ken Rosenthal's column.
Yeah.
Where he called, let's see, what did he say? He was a dancing, strutting peacock when he was talking about Fernando Tatis.
Yep.
And then he said that Jurickson Profar is the kid that pulls the fire alarm and
Yep.
then acts like it's a joke. Again, that kid's awesome. And then the Padres were like, well, guess what, Ken Rosenthal? We're not going to do weird bow tie interviews during the games with you
Love
anymore.
that.
So we've got a Big J versus MLB team beef going on right now.
I love that.
I'm also just excited to see the Padres go back to L.A. and piss everybody off.
Yeah, and it's we also have it happens every October. People being like, why are they drinking champagne after winning one series? I love the celebrations. I always am in for the celebrations. You need to drink after every single series.
Yeah, I'm as a
Play
general
162 games.
General rule of thumb: if you're allowed to get drunk at work, you should get drunk at work.
Yeah, it's fun. So 2 Game 5s. So excited to see Scooble pitch because that's just like everything I expect and know from Scooble. He's gonna fucking be a hoss. He's gonna be give me the ball for the whole game. But that's gonna be great. Nothing better than a couple Game 5s. We also had the Phillies and the Mets series end. Max is back. Max, do you have something for us?
Phillies lost the game. They looked like shit. It's the exact same thing that went on from 2009 to 2011 of the Phillies, and then they had 10 years of nothingness. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of the same.
But that team won a World Series.
I said 2009 to 2011.
I know, but
they won a World Series in 2008.
I know, but that team. I'm saying that team had won a World Series.
I said 2009. 2009 they went to the World Series.
2009 team did not win a World Series.
I'm saying that team had won a World Series. The guys on that team from 2009 to 2011 had won a World Series.
Correct, but 2009 they went to the World Series, lost. 2010 they went to the NLCS, lost. 2011 they went to the NLDS, lost.
Right, but
So,
you see what
and
I'm
then-
saying.
But what I am saying, yes, it is the same.
Like they had a like the 2009 to 2011 stretch. Like they had done something. They had earned something.
Yeah, in 2008 they had earned something.
Yeah, but that carries over.
But that's not what I'm saying. What
Okay.
I'm saying is that like it is just a downhill spiral.
Got it.
Their
But with
guys
no
are getting-
World Series.
Correct.
Yeah, and what makes this even worse is the fact that at that first World Series, you thought to yourself, like, this team is built to win a World Series at some point.
And then the other weird part about it is 2011 was supposed to be the best team of them all, and then they had the best record. This is the best record of This little stretch, it's the same thing. The guys are getting older.
And you didn't win a World Series.
Didn't win a World Series. So many people just didn't show up. It's the same thing as last year. Is like one game. They can't carry over momentum from one game to the next.
You got screwed.
The bullpen is insane. The bullpen was a top 5 bullpen in baseball this year. All of a sudden, we get to the postseason. They pretend like they don't know how to pitch. JT Realmuto doesn't have a single hit in the entire postseason. Trey Turner hits 200. Kyle Schwarber, after his first home run, he gets one bloop single. Other than that, nothing.
What did you
The
say
bottom of
after
the
he
order
hit
is
that home run?
horrible.
What did
That
you
was
say?
real baseball.
What did you say after he hit that home run?
You know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't take it back at all.
I love that.
Like
you shouldn't.
If you're scared to
agree
to be excited over over a leadoff homer against the fucking Mets, I was the only person in that room.
Yes.
I was outnumbered, and I tried to call my shot, and I missed. I don't give a fuck.
Max, yes, I'm 100% on your side. There's nothing worse than what's happened in this culture these days of the old takes exposed in the middle of a game because you're rooting for a team or rooting for a game and commenting it in the middle of a game. That's just what fans do. They root for their team. You shouldn't have to apologize for it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Did it go poorly after that?
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be an apology.
Yeah, and it was like in the moment, it was like, holy shit, leadoff batter, bomb. We have our ace on the mound.
We're not the Brewers.
Mentally tough.
And also Brewers fans being like, oh, we fought them. You did the same fucking thing that we did. You're like, because I kept saying like we're not the Brewers, and they're like, yeah, you're not the Brewers. We at least gave them a harder fight. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You lost, we lost.
Also, you know what you say to Brewers fans? We at least won a World Series in 2008.
Facts.
Yeah.
And we would have beat the shit out of the Brewers.
Yeah, you would have. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and the Mets are too fucking good. The Mets are really fucking good.
They are a team of destiny.
And I've said it, and I'll say it again. The only thing that I'm rooting for in this baseball season is Mets, Yankees, and the Yankees to beat the absolute fuck out of the Mets. Because that's the only way that Mets fans will be upset at the end of this run.
Would you rather a sweep or a loss in Game 7?
You want sweep?
I want sweep.
You want sweep?
I want them to be like
Wouldn't
reminded
Game
that their
7 be
little
maximum pain?
No, because then they can build off of that.
Bet it. Bet Yankees sweep Mets. Those are probably crazy odds on DraftKings.
Then Yankees fans should be upset that this is what I want to happen because
you don't
won't
get the
that's
things.
a good point.
You don't get the things you want to happen.
Now, Max, you had a tweet last night after it was over. You said, I may have to quit this company. I keep thinking I can't have worse losses on stream, and then they just keep happening.
Yeah.
So
the Mets factor of it was like
they just get every clutch hit.
But you're not quitting.
And oh my God, if that
that's well said.
Ball happened
my
to
God,
Mets fans, if that foul ball happened, I had every Mets fan. You can see the strike zone in today's baseball watching experience. They show you where the strike zone is. They still complain about pitches that are outside of that strike zone being called balls. I was fighting with them the entire week, and I was like, it's outside of the zone. You can see the zone. Mets fans suck. You guys fucking suck.
All right, so you just turned to memes when you said that. You did block memes on Twitter last night.
He was doing too many memes, and I was in a bad spot last night.
That's fair.
I was in a bad spot, and I was looking at too many memes.
I like that. I appreciate the fact that you blocked him not because he was tweeting at you, not because he was tagging you.
Too many
you
memes.
just didn't want to see his memes on the timeline.
I'm with you on all of this, Max.
I unblocked him in the morning. Last night it's good we're talking about this now. Last night I was in a very bad spot.
Not having to talk. Yes, getting a little bit of time is good, and you in that moment, it's the worst. I was like, yes, you should block him. He's meming too much. He was doing a lot of memes.
Wait, memes. Did you follow him back after he unblocked you? Because when you block someone, you don't follow them anymore.
I don't think so, but I'll go do it right now.
That's nice. See,
this is good. This is good peace treaty.
Yeah, I like this a lot. So, Max, you were not quitting the company, correct?
Looking at you when I said you guys fucking suck. You were actually very respectful during this whole run.
Yeah, quitting or not?
Not quitting. I'm here.
Not quitting.
Good.
We love you.
I never said that I was quitting. I said I may I may have, and then every Philly fan in my replies are just like, please quit, please quit, please quit.
Oh, that's mean. Max, we love you. We missed you. I felt bad for you. I really did. Do you want to address the butt crack, not just the butt crack, the torn underwear?
Those are like, it was like a $5 pair of underwear. It was like an old pair of underwear I thought would bring good luck.
Okay, so can we put that clip into the?
No.
Can we put that?
No.
Can we pull that clip up?
I
and
was
put it in
actually
the show?
so pissed off about that. Like,
Yeah. What?
No,
That
we're not
you were
putting it
in
in.
Why?
Because YouTube.
No. No.
You can put it. We'll put it in the Rumble.
No. Come on. Show us the clip. Pull it up.
No.
Why?
There's zero chance I will.
Memes. Can you pull it up?
Nope.
I didn't even know there was a picture of his ripped underwear.
Yeah.
So what is it about this underwear that's
It's not ripped. There's just a massive hole. Kind of.
Max, come on. The people want to see it. There's
Everyone
a lot of,
has old fucking underwear.
Max,
it's just no one else is fat that you get to fucking see it when you stand up.
But why is it your lucky underwear?
I don't know. It was just honestly.
What lucky has
Hey,
happened?
go
in that
pull it
underwear?
up. Go pull it up. The people have to see it.
No.
Max, it's for the AWL. It's not for you. It's
No.
bigger than you.
No, there's no chance. I was so pissed off that like our own accounts were fucking tweeting that last night. Like I went through so much fucking shit in that room.
That's
and
wait, what?
What?
Max, that's why you were there.
For my fucking asshole? What?
Max, I mean, you understand
That's
that
where you're drawing the line.
if you're on a live stream and you're
But
getting
there were-
mad and your underwear pops out and you got a hole in it, do you think people are not going to clip that? That's
love
day
you.
one.
There's so much other shit that was going on in there.
in
I
order-
got fucking smoked in the head by by another asshole, and more people were talking about my fucking butt crack. Yeah, holy shit! Let's fucking sound the alarm that I have a fucking ass crack that comes out. Jesus Christ!
I have tears in my eyes.
It was partially the ass, partially the rip in the underwear.
It was the rip, and then
I don't give a fuck. Every single person has the old underwear that they wear.
It was also the face that you had right before you hit the camera out of Dukes' hand. The face was
I didn't
just
think
like
that we were going
things
to be
you
talking about the fucking ass crack.
things you. I mean, come on, the face that you had. It was just like pure, like things you see. It was like a road rage video.
I also love the idea of Big J's listening to this podcast to see what Skip Bayless says,
Yeah.
and they're sitting through Max
My
screaming about his
fucking ass
asshole.
crack. All right, I gotta watch the video just so I can
Philly
remind
guys,
myself.
man.
Oh my god, I love you so much, Max.
Max, I'm very
You're the
upset
best.
though because I didn't see any of the overalls. You had lucky overalls. You had brand new overalls.
Yeah, no, I thought about it a lot, and I just kept going back to remembering how I felt in the old overalls, and I was like, I can't have this again. I can't have this. Like it was such bad vibes the first time. Why would I rewind the bad vibes?
Better or worse vibes than you felt seeing everyone talking about your asshole.
Can we watch the video?
No.
I want to watch the video.
That's great. You can watch it right there.
I'm watching it.
I'm watching it too. The face that he does is just the best face. I want to get it framed.
And you're sitting baby mode on the ground.
The fucking camera out of my face.
Did you damage that camera?
It was Dukes.
It
Who
was
cares?
Dukes' phone, and I apologized to him right after. So, like, when I get people who think that this shit's an act, it's fucking.
It's not. It's not
It
an
just
act.
happens.
It's not an act.
And it was a fair ball.
It was. You were right.
True.
You were right on that.
Like, it was a justified explosion.
I can't. Oh my god. All right, so Max, where do we go from here?
You gotta
underwear?
change. You gotta.
New underwear would be a good first change.
I mean, kind of the whole point of wearing overalls is that they go over all, including your underwear.
We have to move on from this.
It was. What did you break the chair?
No, I just like slammed it.
Did you know in the moment that your butt crack was out?
I will not be addressing it anymore.
We're done with butt crack questions.
Max, do you know what phase the moon was in last night?
I love that we were.
Oh no, he took the headset off.
I love that we were planning on like organically. We're going to talk about it. We knew that Max was going to get upset at some point. I thought it was going to be just about the Phillies' feeble effort. Little did we know it was about his ass crack. He didn't think he was going to have to address the ass crack.
Listen, Max has the headphones off right now, so I will say I think Max is right. I think he's
why the other accounts
100% correct.
Oh, what?
I think he's right
about what?
About the future of the Phillies.
No, he's right. They don't have a World Series.
Yeah, this feels like it's we can try to turn the page on this chapter of the Phillies right now.
Oh, and I'm gonna play the video for. Buttcrack. Yeah, the fucking bullshit in the camera.
Memes.
I can watch that end of that video. I'll say this, Max. The ass crack was not the highlight of the video. The highlight of the video, I know, I'm just going to say it to him though anyway. The highlight of the video was your face and that fucking bullshit. Big baby.
Memes, how happy are you?
Yeah, Memes, congrats.
I'm excited. This is one of those runs.
What is he doing right now?
He is on Twitter. I saw a picture of the Rizzler.
Okay.
Timeline cleanse.
He's taking a timeout. All right, he's back. He's back.
This makes all the shitty years of watching worth it. This type of run. It happened in 2015. It's kind of happening now. Just every time you think they're out, something special happens.
I know people don't want it's hard from a national perspective to root for the Mets or be like, oh, I'm happy for the Mets. I am happy for the Mets. Mets fans are tortured. Oh, no, he took it off again.
Yeah, no,
Would you rather me talk about Mets fans being tortured or the ass crack, Max? What is he looking at now?
Continue.
Okay. They are. They're tortured. They're a tortured fan base. So it's fun to see them have this run. And it seems like there's just something about playoff baseball. They have just every big hit, every big out.
They got some magic
Something's going on.
There's definitely some magic going on.
Grimace.
They got
Hawk Tua.
You got Grimace. And also, shout out to all the fans that show up to baseball games wearing the full-on Grimace outfits.
Yeah.
I know they're the knockoff Grimace outfits. I don't think that they're actually McDonald's. I think they're like Party City Grimaces. That's got to be a very inconvenient way to watch a baseball game through those mascot eyes. But they're doing it. They've got Grimace. They've got the song. Memes, how's that song go?
Oh, my God. We had the Gay Mets, too.
What's that?
We just didn't lose in June.
Oh, the Gay Mets. Okay.
Gay Mets, yeah.
Got it.
We
For
had
Pride
Grimace,
Month.
the Gay Mets, OMG Mets, Seymour Wiener, he was at opening day.
The Gay Met?
And Jorge Lopez happened this year when he threw his glove into the stand and said, I'm on the worst team in the league.
Yep.
And they were 22-35 at that point, and then turned the season around at that point.
It's
and Hawk Tua.
And Hawk Tua.
This is kind of crazy because, like, Steve Cohen, the owner, this team isn't really. Does he have his fingerprints all over it, or is it kind of like just magic in a bottle where the team got forced into this weird set of circumstances where this is your starting lineup now, and they all kind of caught fire at the same time?
I will say they all caught fire at the same time because there's a lot of expiring contracts on this team. It was kind of glued together.
Yeah.
And then half of our salary is down in Texas with the Rangers.
Yeah.
That was
That was the end of the sentence. Okay.
Yeah, that was the end of the
We got to
sentence.
work on periods.
Yep.
Max, let's finish it before we get to picks and preview. It's going to get better. We love you. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Hank, tell him it's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
But how mad are you at Hank right now, Max?
I was rooting for the Phillies. I
don't give a fuck who you're.
True, fair, and as you shouldn't.
So is that very mad at Hank?
No, let's get to picks and previews.
Yeah, let's get to picks and previews. All right, and we got Skip Bayless after picks and previews. All-time Pardon My Take episode. Let's kick it to ourselves. Okay, before we get to Week 6 picks and preview, we're brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I was looking at tickets for Sunday Night Football. Bengals versus Giants. Hank.
They are as cheap as $67 if you use the GT Picks selector. They have lower bowl, looks like pretty much
Center court.
For $181.
Okay.
Which is a great deal.
So just pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Pick setting at the top of the screen, and browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? Someone out there, go buy those Bengals, Giants, Sunday Night Football tickets. Use that GT Picks setting when you go on Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Use code PMT to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time. Okay, boys, week 6 of the NFL. We're ready to go. I feel good. We have a good even slate of the early game. Obviously, Bears, Jaguars, then we have 6, I believe, then 4, then 1.
We also have a good slate of buys this weekend. I like it when it's very evenly split between good teams and bad teams in the bye week. So this week we've got the Chiefs on a bye, Rams on a bye, Dolphins on a bye, and the Vikings on a bye. The Rams won the bye week.
Yeah.
They're the bye week winners.
Chiefs, they're on. We just keep forgetting that the Chiefs
never count out Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, 5-0 and just rolling. But
if the Royals somehow do some work during the bye week, then I will say that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have won the bye week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rams needed this bye. Getting healthy.
They did big time. All right, so let's get into
We need
games.
to buy from the Dolphins too.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be fine if they just didn't come back.
Yeah.
From the bye.
How long would it take you to notice?
It would be at least a week.
If I think I could go a week. I think maybe when Tua comes back.
There are certain teams that go on the bye, and I forget that they exist. That happened with the Titans and the Chargers this week.
You have to remember the Titans.
You got to remember the Titans. But yeah, if the Dolphins didn't play next week either, I don't think I would fully realize it for another week.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh, shit. Because it's not even like you can't even make the fantasy argument because all those guys stink now without Tua.
Yeah. So I think this is good bye week.
Yeah. Good bye week. Okay. Let's get it going. Jaguars at Bears in London. The Jaguars, hopefully everyone's okay from Hurricane Milton, have I think they were delayed by a little bit. So they usually go Thursday. Bears went on Monday. I think the Jaguars ended up going on are going to go later on Thursday. This is a must win for the Bears.
I would say so.
Yeah.
You got to this is the meat of your schedule, right?
This is the you got to make some hay time.
You got to dive into that meat right now.
I do think the Bears defense will give Trevor Lawrence some issues. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but there's something about there's teams when the urgency when they haven't won a football game, the urgency gets really high, they win the game. Doug Peterson said it himself. There's a weight off our shoulders. Now I'm in.
Yeah, I think
to go against you.
Doug Peterson is he's like black and white when it comes to lying and telling the truth.
Yeah.
I think anything that Doug Peterson says before a game that week is a lie. Everything that he says after the game is usually the truth.
Yes.
And so this week,
except for again the good conversations.
And
both before and after games.
Well, maybe it was a good conversation, the fact that they had a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's
true.
important to communicate with people.
That's
face to
true.
face. So this week, I think he's lying about Tank Bigsby.
Okay.
Because Tank Bigsby has outperformed Etienne at running back, and they're asking him, well, are you going to give more carries? He's like, no, he just had a good game. Like, that's how this league works. You don't just give a guy more carries because they had a good game. That actually is usually how football works.
Yeah.
If your player plays well, then you give him more carries. So I have a feeling that he's lying about that.
I am a little nervous about Tank Bigsby and Etienne because there's one thing the Bears defense it could get a little better on is run defense at times. But I must win. Caleb's looked better and better. Must win. Can't lose the Jaguars.
Can't lose it.
Let the Jaguars win their game next week. I have a stat for you, PFT, from Bet Labs that's really good. Speaking of the weight off your shoulders after a win, and when you get deeper into the season and you're winless. So teams in week 6 or later coming off their first straight up win of the season are 45-82 straight up. So 35% in their next game.
Okay.
This is obviously a 2-point line. So yeah, they could cover and lose straight up, but there's something to be said behind the feeling of, oh, we won one, we can have a sigh of relief, we're okay.
Also because a team that waits that long to get their first win usually isn't that great of a team.
No, definitely not. So I don't think the Jaguars are very good, and I would be a very sad boy if the Bears lose this game because, again, it's a must win.
It is a must win. You have to stack your wins now.
Yeah.
So, I remember the first game that I went to here in Chicago. You remember that? We went to the Bears-Jaguars game, and it was rainy. It was shitty.
We did. You were in a wheelchair. We did
Broke my foot.
We did a preview of the game in a porta potty.
I think we were vaping in the porta potty.
Yep.
A hot box to porta potty with Uncle Chaps. That might have been one of the worst NFL games ever to go to.
That was a pretty tough one.
I would put that one right up there with that Jets-Broncos game that we saw earlier this year.
Yes.
People will ask me like, "Oh, have you ever been to a game at Soldier?" And I tell them that story. I'm like, "Yeah, it makes me never want to go back."
And we had the worst seats, I think. I think we intentionally made it the worst experience.
Yeah, we did.
We
tried. We were doing that as like kind of a bit, but like it was two not good teams, and you were in a wheelchair.
I was in a wheelchair at the time. Yeah, that was
because we had gone to the NLCS the night before, and you walked and further broke your foot.
My foot got more broken. Well, and then they dug into it and they didn't discover a fracture once they did the surgery.
But it was pretty much broken.
It was pretty much broken. It was basically a broken foot. But yeah, I think I agree with the Big Cat. This is a must-win week for the Bears.
Jaguars defense is bad too.
Their offensive line didn't look bad last week, though. They looked good last week, in fact. The Jaguars.
Yeah.
But I think
they have some guys.
They got some guys. And also, Trayvon Walker, the most forgotten #1 overall pick of all time, he had a big week last week, too. So their defensive line can get at it. But again, I like the Bears this weekend. I'm with you on that one. There was a little bit of an update to the Tom Brady acquisition story from the Bears. So the McCaskey family confirmed it. They're like, yeah, we were in the beginning stages of a conversation. Or we wanted to be in the conversation for Tom Brady. But do you remember what the outcome of not getting Tom Brady was? You guys got Nick Foles.
Yes.
Also Jaguars legend.
Yes.
Nick Foles.
And Andy Dalton later, and yeah, it all worked out.
A lot of dominoes.
It all worked out. Okay, going into the regular slate, Cardinals. By the way, just as an aside, I hate having your team play in the London game because not only is it because usually the 8:30 game, I'll watch on my phone, half watch, trying to spend some time with the family. Like I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm not like fully glued in because I know that it's a long Sunday if I'm obviously, this one I'm fully glued in, and this is a complete the risk of losing this game and then having to just sit there
all
day. It's similar to playing the first game on Thursday of March Madness. If you lose that, it's so disastrous. If you win it, it's free football for the rest of the day.
It's a great day, yeah.
But I don't like having that.
If you lose it, people might just forget about that over the course of the day.
Yeah, but it just sticks in the back of your head, and you're like, God damn it, how we lose that game? So got to win this game.
Last Sunday, I think it was statistically the longest NFL day ever. Because we had the London game and then the rain delay at the night game.
Yeah.
So it was the longest day of NFL football we've ever had.
Yeah. Okay. Cardinals and Packers. Cardinals off a win. Packers, they're good. Jordan Love, is he fully healthy? Here's what I think will happen in this game. I think the Packers are going to win. I think they're going to win semi-easy. And I think it's going to be because Jordan Love has gotten healthier and is going to stop being in shotgun every single possession, every single snap.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because he's good at play action, and I think that's the last step of the Packers offense coming back. And they also, you saw it on Sunday, they were getting the tight end involved. They're going to run the ball. The Cardinals defense they played great in the second half against the 49ers, but I just like a team that comes off a huge win, has to travel. I'm gonna go against that team.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love's getting better. He got better over the course of the last game. Actually,
he's been doing that in every game.
Yeah, so
he did the first game he came back. It was 3 bad quarters, 1 good quarter. This time it was 2 bad quarters, 2 good quarters. So you'd assume just 1 bad quarter this time.
Yeah, so they went down 14-7 after that hilarious interception.
Yep.
That slapstick interception. And then he completed 12 of his next 13 passes.
Yeah.
Right after that.
And Dobbs, I believe, is back, that was a weird story.
So what's going on with Dobbs? Dobbs, from my understanding, he skipped practice, which that fucking rocks in the NFL to just skip practice.
Yeah.
That's something straight out of high school where you're like, I don't feel like it, or my buddies are going to go smoke by the steps, so I'm just not going to go to practice. It's like a very high school thing to just be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Today. I'm not going to work.
I don't know what's going on because it feels like there might be something mental health. I don't know because they had to go check on him to make sure everything was okay. And then he got suspended for 1 game.
Yeah.
By the team. So maybe he's back and okay. I don't know. And Christian Watson, possibly. I thought I saw
I saw Christian Watson saying something good about Dobbs.
I'm saying
we're glad to have him back.
Christian Watson might play. Yeah, he did. Christian Watson came to his defense, and Christian Watson returned to practice.
Okay.
So the Packers could be getting a lot healthier, better. I think you're going to get, barring the weather, a Packers offensive explosion.
Because I feel like you're the same way as I am about this type of stuff, but has there ever been a game that you've watched between two teams and then that game stays in your memory for so long that it affects how you see all the other matchups between
You're talking about the shootout?
I'm talking about the shootout.
The shootout.
So I'm expecting a lot of points in this game
Yeah.
because of that playoff shootout. Was it
Kurt Warner
against Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was one of the coolest games that I've ever watched. It was just points.
Yeah, it was like 49-48 or something.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the final score was.
When I see these two uniforms on the field at the same time, I just my brain goes back to that game.
Yeah.
And I expect there to be a lot of points.
Wait, not that one. Wait, was it 26-20? Why did I think they played.
This is the playoffs, right? There's a playoff game between the Packers and the Cardinals.
51-45.
Yeah.
There it is. 51-45. Yeah, that was the shootout game. That was the crazy game.
Yeah, so I see these colors on the field at the same time.
I agree.
And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a points factory.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, I guess Chiefs-Rams.
Yeah, from that Monday night?
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That was a great one.
Chiefs-Rams.
I mean, Jags-Titans, but I'm always right about that one.
Bengals-Bills for a different reason.
Yep.
I just expect someone to need CPR.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my head, it does.
For
Prayers for tomorrow. Yeah. That's just a fact. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it, but you're right. You're right. Points.
And it's not this weekend, but it's next that Call of Duty comes out, right?
Yeah.
And Kyler, I mean, credit to Kyler for doing a Call of Duty commercial, for doing an advertisement.
Got to lean into it.
You got to lean into it.
Got to lean into it. Okay. Next up, Commanders at Ravens. PFT.
Yes.
This is a very big game.
Yes.
This is a measuring stick game.
I like that. I like measuring stick. I've seen people saying passing of the torch game.
No, I think it's a measuring stick.
It's a measuring stick. It's not.
It could be a passing of the torch game in retrospect, but I think going into it, it could be. We could look 5 years from now and be like, that was a passing the torch game. I think going into it, it has to be measuring stick.
Yeah. So people are talking about passing the torch. Is this the week that Lamar Jackson finally surpasses Jaden Daniels as the better scrambling and passing quarterback? I think it's too early to say that. I like the measuring stick game. I'm still dealing with my PTSD, my post-traumatic Snyder disorder, where I still feel like going into every single week, this is the week that it all falls apart.
Yeah.
I do think that the Ravens offense is...
It's the best in the league.
Yeah, it's the best in the league. Our defense, I don't think that what we saw for the last 2 weeks can be expected to be the defense that we're going to see moving forward. But I don't think we're going to be as bad as we were in week one.
Yeah.
And I'll be okay with that. Like, this is a game, this is a potential statement loss for the Commanders this weekend.
It's an interesting game because the Commanders, as great as Jaden Daniels has been, and he's been great, a lot of their offense working has been the run game being so effective, and the Ravens' run defense is very, very good. Mm-hmm. So it's like this could be a game where Jaden Daniels has to do a little more, and I think he will. I also think this is a good spot, though, PFT, because you have Ravens off of Sunday Night Football, big win against the Bills, overtime, 77 snaps for the offense last week for the Ravens, and then you get them on a noon game. I don't know. I think it's a good spot.
Now, if we win this game, I will say all the reckless things that I've been thinking about that I've somehow stopped myself from saying.
Absolutely.
I will be the happiest boy that I've ever been in my entire life if we win this game. And I think it's a possibility. I think we could win this game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's likely, but I think if the Ravens play a lot of zone defense, that's when Jaden has his games when he's like 90% completion rate. Mm-hmm. Against man, he's a little bit less of that, but we'll see what the Ravens defense does. I had a dumb thought about this game.
Okay.
And I texted our friend Chris Long because Chris played on the defensive line in the NFL for a long time. He hasn't gotten back to me because I just had the thought and I texted him. I was like, is this really dumb for me to say this or not? Maybe you guys can tell me. Our pass rush is not good. Our defensive ends, not great. Our defensive tackles, very good for the Commanders. Is it maybe sneaky a good thing that our pass rush on the end sucks against Lamar? Because you naturally keep contained because you're not good enough to get downfield and turn that corner?
I think you'd probably want better guys though.
No, it might be better to have worse guys.
I don't hate the
defensive
thought.
end.
I don't hate the thought.
This is like 3D, 5D chess levels of rationalization that I have right now.
They're so slow they can't physically give up contain.
Exactly. That's
I don't hate
exactly
that.
what I'm
I don't
saying.
hate that.
It's like if you have a really slow player on your hockey team, it's like, well, he's too slow to ever be offsides.
Yeah, I don't hate that. We should mention, because we have to mention, Lamar Jackson is 21-1 straight up against the NFC.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. 11-11 against the spread. So don't be afraid to take the spread and the Commanders in the spread. I think I will, but that should be mentioned. Also, fun fact. Couple fun facts for you in this game. Sunday's game will tie the record for most Heisman Trophy winners on the field at the same time.
So we got Jaden.
Yep.
Marcus Mariota, he might not be on the field, though.
Yeah, well, he's
On the sideline.
He'd be on the sideline.
Lamar.
Yep.
Derrick Henry.
Yep. There it is.
4.
So the other time it happened was the Raiders and Bills in 1998 had Tim Brown, Desmond Howard, Charles Woodson, and Doug Flutie.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of cool.
And I'd really like to draft Travis Hunter next year.
Yeah. Oh, Travis Hunter. He's playing this week, and he should be the Heisman. Another fun fact. Dean Pease is back.
He is back. One of my favorite names in the NFL.
Ever.
Dean
Pease.
Pees. Dean Pease.
So he's a special assistant to defensive coordinator Zach Orr for the Ravens. Dean Pease is back.
Yep.
Dean Pease.
We don't know much
in
about
the
him,
name.
but he's back in an advisory role.
Yeah. The guy
on
is
defense.
named Dean Pease.
His name literally translates to Dean Pease.
Dean Pease.
Yeah.
He looks like a football guy. He looks like a football lifer. He's from Ohio. Dean Pease.
Well, credit to the Ravens because their defense hasn't looked as good as they did with Mike McDonald.
I agreed. I do think Joe Burrow's playing. Well, the Ravens secondary has not been great.
Yeah.
Their run defense has been great. I think Joe Burrow's been on that, like he's been on fire.
Yeah.
Because they did look good against the Bills.
That's true.
They did shut down the Bills.
That's true. They also got off to a nice early lead against them.
Yeah.
Beacon, have you ever been addicted to watching hype videos?
All the time.
This is the first I've ever been addicted to.
Oh,
it.
my God.
I've been watching
All the time.
I've been watching all of them. I think that's how I learn about 90% of my new music catalog.
Yeah.
Is just via watching hype videos.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these hype videos! It's better than porn.
Yeah. Hype videos are
really
the
is.
best.
I also had another question about this game this week here for you. The report came out yesterday that Jaden Daniels gets into the facility at 4 a.m. Every morning. Is that too early?
Too early.
I think every quarterback does this.
No, that's too
No,
early.
it's not.
Yeah,
That's not true.
every
4 a.m.?
team, there is a story that comes up that's like, this guy is the first one in. He gets in so early.
I like this.
You should be getting in that early
like-
if that is your job.
I like Max doing that.
4 a.m.?
Start up. 4
Yes,
a.m.
fine.
All right, fun fact off that. So I don't know what time every quarterback gets in. It does feel like too early. 5 a.m. feels more appropriate. Did you know that our coworker and trying to be college football expert, Brandon Walker, who lives almost in Wisconsin, do you know that he sometimes, like this morning, got here at 6:30 in the morning to beat the traffic?
Yeah, and he just paces around. He
Yeah,
just
no, I
walks
know he
around the
pays,
gym.
but I like he is now so obsessed with traffic that he wants to get in here in 55 minutes flat that he leaves at 5:30 in the morning.
I don't blame him.
Crazy.
I would think about doing that too, just to avoid traffic, because there's always some asshole.
And he doesn't have to be here till
There's always some
10.
asshole that's broken
10.
down on the highway
10.
and jamming you up.
True.
That's like I mean, he's an older guy. That is like a dad move. I
He
feel
said he
like.
went to sleep at 7 last night, so I guess that makes sense. But still, that's too early.
Update on the El Camino that broke down traffic, caused a massive traffic jam. It was not out of gas.
Thank God.
It was almost out of gas.
Okay.
So I'm not that big of an asshole.
Okay. By the way, this is the best start. Lamar
Is
Jackson.
it going to get fixed?
Yeah, it's in the process of getting
getting fixed.
It'll be fine.
Do you want to tell him how many miles per gallon?
Yeah, so I did find out how many miles per gallon it gets because as they were checking it out, it did run out of gas as they were running it at the garage. It gets actually somewhere between 4 and 5 miles per gallon.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's pretty damn good.
In your face, Greta Thunberg.
That's how many gallon tank is it? 12?
No, I think it's like 15 or 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can drive for
Like
an
a couple
hour.
days. Yeah, a few days. I will not be taking that on the highway again.
Okay. By the way, this is by like advanced metrics. Lamar Jackson, who has 2 MVPs, this is the best he has started a season week 1 through 5, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is scary because he's been
not fat.
insane. Okay, Colts at Titans. Forgot about the Titans. I love the Titans in this game.
You do, because Anthony Richardson is coming back.
I don't know if I love the Titans if Joe Flacco plays. I love the Titans if Anthony Richardson plays. I think the Titans are the snake-bitten team of the year, and snake-bitten mostly means Will Levis turnovers. But they've been in every game, right? Yeah. Like they should have beaten the Bears. They should have beaten the Jets. Who was their who else did they play? They beat the Dolphins. What was their other game?
They play the Colts?
No, they haven't played the Colts yet. Packers. Okay, that was Malik Willis. That was the first week Willis.
Colts, yeah.
Yeah, I think Will Levis is going to have a good game. There it is. That's my hot take. I think Will Levis is not going to turn the ball over. I think their defense is really good. They're off a bye. Maybe fix some things. And I also think the Colts defense is like, remember how last week I said the Colts defense were the get right for Trevor Lawrence? I think they're just the get right for everyone.
It could be. That could be. So do you think that Will Levis watching Mason Rudolph go in there and run the offense somewhat competently, that lit a little fire under his ass?
Inspiration.
It might be a fire under the ass game for Will Levis.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this one is way off, but I really, really like the Titans this game. I like teams, any team off a bye I like. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like, oh, they're off a bye. They got a little rest. They feel good. They worked on some things.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to think until I know who's starting this game for the Colts.
Yeah.
I can't go against Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Flacco to me is an automatic over quarterback.
But the Titans defense is good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like I think they'll be able to handle either. I would prefer it be Anthony Richardson. I'd like my bet more. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
What's the line on this game right now?
2.5 on DraftKings. Is that right, Hank? Hank, you be our line expert.
Got it.
Be our line expert. What do you got?
3. Colts are +3.
Oh, it's gone to 3. Okay.
-118.
Is that maybe Anthony Richardson being called the starter? Because I think he would. Which would be crazy, but I think he's the only one who would be named starter, and that would go against him.
That would go against him, yeah. The line would not be in their favor.
Let me look up if Anthony Richardson is playing. Again, they're stuck in that spot where I don't think anyone in the world thinks that Anthony Richardson right now is better than Joe Flacco, but you have to play it.
What I saw is that he's been practicing more. He's been doing more in practice this week.
Oh, here's a headline that I'll read. Well, it's paywalled. Nobody's lying about Colts QB Anthony Richardson, but nobody's telling full truth.
Is that a lie?
I don't know. I can't read the whole thing.
In a court of law.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole truth. They make you say the whole truth.
The whole truth.
That sounds like it might be a lie.
And Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if he's playing or not. But yeah, I like the Titans in this game. I do. It's probably stupid. You know what? This will be my I'm quitting the Titans if they lose this game. Bet. I'm not taking the Titans. It is my last line in the sand.
Yeah, I mean off a bye.
Off a bye.
If they can't compete against the Colts off a bye, I think that's fair to abandon them.
Yes.
Do you ever write teams off for the entire season?
Yeah,
I do sometimes.
They'll still come back somehow,
and then I feel bad because usually those teams that I write off, they end up coming back and winning.
Yes. Okay, Hank, you ready? Texans and Patriots.
It's Mayday.
Hank, is there anything you'd like to address?
In terms of
your excitement for Drake May.
I'm nervous for this game. I'm not going to say I'm excited because I've thought about it. I slept on it. You know, you guys told me I should be excited. I'm excited to see him in the throwback jerseys. I'm just nervous. I'm not excited. I'm nervous.
Okay, can I make you feel a little bit better?
Sure.
Nico Collins is out. Nico Collins is very important to the Texans offense. Okay? That the Texans offense has felt at times like we're in trouble, hit Nico Collins. I actually think in a weird way this is going to help the Texans going forward for the rest of the season because they're going to have to learn how to play without Nico.
Tank Dell.
Yeah. But they're going to have to learn how to survive without Nico. There was a mutiny, Hank, for Drake May.
Was there?
The mutiny worked. the Patriots will have maximum effort in this game because you have to have maximum effort after a mutiny.
How credible was his mutiny?
I saw
one
at least
report
one
with the
headline.
word mutiny in it, and that wasn't that legitimate.
Do you know this show? That's legitimate. That's as source as it gets. Hank, if you do a mutiny for a guy and then you get the guy to start, everyone's got to be like, hey, we got to step up because we did a mutiny for him.
Yeah, it's your guy that you've installed.
I just looked up Patriots mutiny. There's multitude of articles.
Multitude of articles.
Use the word mutiny.
If you look at Patriots mutiny.
Yeah.
Jared Mayo responds to mutiny.
Yep.
Patriots. Blah, 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 we won't read that one.
Well, it sounds like these articles are in response to that one article that said there was a mutiny.
But they're all
now they're
all
talking about immunity.
Talking about it.
Yep.
There's smoke, there's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point, Max.
But
So,
you want there to have been a mutiny, Hank, because now the mutiny worked, and now they're going to play hard for him.
you got some skin in the game, in other words.
The reporter who said that he got a little carried away with the locker room mutiny comments on Patriots podcast earlier today.
A little carried away.
A little, not all the way carried away.
A touch of mutiny.
Yeah.
They
I
dabbled
liked.
in mutiny.
You should be rooting for the mutiny though, because the mutiny, like, I would understand.
Who wants their team to have a mutiny?
Listen to me.
You ever seen Captain Phillips?
Yeah.
They took over
Look
that
at me.
ship. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain.
I'm the Drake May.
I'm the captain now. Hank, you don't want a mutiny unless a mutiny works. If it was still in state of mutiny, you'd be like, fuck this is bad, mutiny. But it worked. They got the mutiny done. The mutiny's over.
And what's the end goal of this mutiny? Again,
Drake May starts
keep
and
going
it's
over this.
good.
It's fine. It's fine.
What do you mean?
What?
The end goal was we need Drake May to play because he gives us the best chance to win. He gives me as a hypothetical wide receiver the best chance to get more stats.
Dude, think about it. Like, we've talked about it before. Post ski, post shovel, post game winning drive tailgate beer. Post mutiny beer's up there. Like, the boys are pumped after a mutiny that worked.
A successful one.
Yeah. Not a mutiny that's still going on, a mutiny that worked.
I'm pretty sure it was Devin McCourty that said it, but when the news came out, he said, I wish we had let Houston wait till Sunday to figure this out.
That would have probably been smart, but you also had a mutiny on your hands, so you kind of had to deal with it.
Now,
I would have been a lot more excited if it was like Sunday 11:30 and it's like Drake May starting.
Yeah,
then I would have been fired up.
You get the pop, yeah. But it's better. The alternative is that the mutiny doesn't work. It gets quelled. It gets put down.
That's way worse.
And then you're never drinking a beer again.
Right.
And then the season's over at that point. Locker room lost.
I do think I think the offensive line will be better.
Because Drake May, he can run.
And he can pass. Two things that Jacoby Brissett couldn't do, which are very important parts of playing quarterback.
I would say pros for Jacoby Brissett, he's better at getting hit. He's better at getting tackled and getting back up again. Pros for Drake May at playing quarterback.
Who are you going to bet on in this game?
The Patriots +7. You have a one game chance to ride the mutiny. You have to take it.
It's -6.5 right now.
You don't. I want to do a mutiny on him now, so he can see how fucking great it is. I have.
It's -6.5. Plus
Memes,
6.5.
Max. You guys got to do a mutiny on Hank. Just show him what it's like.
Against Hank?
Yeah. Mutiny is ass.
Already been
Yeah, Memes has like a 25-page manifesto.
Right,
Check it out.
okay, so that is a perfect example in these terms. Memes is actively trying to mutiny you, right? He hasn't been successful. What is he? A grumpy guy. If he mutinied you, he would be happy.
That's a bad example.
That's not a bad example. When you're actively in a mutiny, you can't be happy because you're like, fuck, I'm thinking about this mutiny.
I just can't
the
see
whole time.
Memes as a happy guy.
Okay, but hypothetically,
Maybe he would if you disappeared.
I don't know if one man can do a mutiny. I feel like one man is a lone wolf, right? But if somehow he got Max on his side and Pug and
me.
Shane and me and Big Cat and we mutinied you, we got you out of there, do you think that the vibes would be higher?
Yeah.
I think we need to mutiny
Well,
Hank just to show him
I'm not
what
saying
it's like.
your absence would cause a mutiny. I'm saying that in this situation where we all hate you, hypothetically, then we get you out.
Hypothetical.
Then we'll be happy, hypothetically.
This is
right?
hypothetical.
So hypothetically, it sounds like that Drake May is going to give a little spark to the locker room.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm nervous.
Are we still calling it May Day?
Sunday will be Mayday.
That's Mayday. But again, Mayday not a great term.
Mayday for the Texans.
Mayday for the Texans.
Because I did look up the origins of Mayday because I was like, why do pilots say Mayday when they're about to crash? It's actually it's a French pilot term because they would say Aide. It's a French term for help. So it's just saying help me. Mayday.
Mayday.
And then everyone's like, oh, they're saying Mayday. So, fun fact. Pardon my French.
Memes just texted our production chat saying we're starting a mutiny.
Yes. And when this is successful, we're basically just gonna do an experiment on you, and then when they get the mutiny done, you're gonna see the vibes. They're crazy. You got to ride the mutiny back.
I just got Pug and Shane computers. They can't. There's no way they're mutinizing against me.
Oh shit.
Good luck, memes.
You bought them computers?
Kind of.
You told Pete to buy him computers.
Something like that.
You stole them computers? Little Cam Newton?
All right. Be excited, Hank. Nico Collins is hurt. He's really good.
I also we weren't here last year for it. I don't know how I'm gonna get to the office because of the marathon.
Oh yeah, you were in trouble.
I looked it up today. Like it's
Yeah, I'm not. You are.
it's impossible.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
You might just sleep here on Saturday.
You're gonna have to just run the marathon.
I have a guest room, Hank.
I do too.
Super Bowl.
You can stay over.
If they were having
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Listen, it sounds like Max might be in this mutiny. He's like, stay over at my house. It'll be fun.
And then kill him?
Yeah, then kill him.
And kill him.
Memes is like, yeah.
Bucs Saints. Spencer Rattler.
Rattler, baby.
Spencer Rattler.
So I was thinking about Saints quarterbacks, and I couldn't remember, with the exception of Ian Book, the last time that the Saints had a rookie quarterback that they had starting for him. I looked it up, and it goes all the way back to 97 with Danny Werfel.
Oh.
So the Saints are just one of those teams that doesn't ever start rookie quarterbacks ever.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Mostly because they had Drew Brees for a long time, and then now Derek Carr. But that Ian Book game, that was
bad.
That was because of COVID. I think they had both their backup quarterbacks.
It's a Monday night game, yeah.
That was ugly. But yeah, Spencer Rattler. I'm excited to watch Spencer Rattler.
I think the Saints are live in this game. I think everyone's going to say Spencer Rattler stinks. Hammer the Bucs. Here's the thing with Derek Carr. Nice guy, recurring guest. First 2 weeks looked awesome. If you saw him Monday night, it felt like he was going back to Derek Carr where it was dump off, moonshot pass. Mm-hmm. Maybe Clint Kubiak maybe he can mold Spencer Rattler in his own image.
Now, is he going to be in the sidelines for Spencer Rattler?
I think
or
he
do
will
they have
be.
Up in the booth?
I think 3.5 is a lot for a division game. And Mike Evans will get kicked out at
Mike
some
Evans
point.
Loves fighting.
At some point, he's going to be out of this game.
But that was usually had something to do with CD Deuce.
I think Lattimore, too.
Lattimore,
Yeah.
Mike Evans always gets into a fight against the Saints.
Yeah. So do you guys like the Bucs here? Or?
I like the Saints. Ebo, a kid we work with here, has been saying, don't overthink Spencer Rattler rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year.
Oh, wow.
That's a great way to put it.
Don't overthink
Don't overthink that.
All right, wait. All right, yeah, I'm done thinking about it.
Yeah. If
I'm
you
not
don't
thinking
if
about
you
it.
don't think about it at all, it's a great bet.
So I'm going to bet the Saints this week with
less
that
you
in
thi-
mind.
the less
Because
you
if there's
think
any
about it, actually.
if there's any way he does it, he has to start hot.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's another thing to just throw in there. Just a thought starter. Saints defense is still good, right? The Bucs won a game against the Commanders, not a great defense. Won a game against the Lions, not a great defense. Won a game against the Eagles, not a great defense. Scored 7 points against the Broncos, very good defense.
Yeah.
Are the Saints closer to the Broncos or closer to the Commanders, Eagles, and Lions? I would say they're probably closer to the Broncos in terms of defense. Just a thought starter.
It's a good thought starter. When you put this all together, it ultimately is going to come down to whether or not Spencer Rattler is good.
Yeah,
And
of course.
we don't know.
Of course. But it also is it's just one of those games that my dumb brain said, hey, this is going to be the easiest thing ever. I'm going to take the Bucs. And then I paused and said, hold on a second, idiot. You've been doing this a long time. You've been losing a long time. Maybe it's not that easy.
Yeah, I don't hate the Saints at all because you want to be on the right side of calling Spencer Rattler being good.
Correct. Okay, Browns at Eagles. Max, what are the vibes? Do you want to do Phillies right now? We did it already.
I've already done it.
Okay, so what are the vibes for the Eagles? Let's focus on just the Eagles.
Browns money line.
Why?
Why would you say that, Max? The Browns are bad.
The Eagles are bad.
Lane Johnson's back.
Do you?
Devontae Smith's back.
That's not true.
AJ Brown's back. What do you mean?
They haven't confirmed that.
What about AJ Brown and Devontae Smith?
I heard they were
The
bad.
vibe in that stadium is going to be horrendous.
Not if they win.
The vibe in that stadium, they're going to get booed within one incompletion. That stadium is going to erupt in boos.
That's what
Eagle-
the line
That's
is.
Philly. That's what Philly does.
Yeah, Max, what is this, an ESPN segment where you're like, oh, no, Philly's booing too early?
No, it's just that no one expects anything out of this Eagles team.
Well-
The Browns are gonna win.
Also, the Philadelphia sports culture right now.
Dead.
After, I think that the Eagles are going to catch some residual anger from Philly fans
Why would you say that?
because they
That's
lost.
what I'm doing right now.
Huh?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, they're all. You guys are on edge right now.
Yeah, but they also suck.
Do they suck?
Yeah.
With Lane Johnson, who, by the way, as of 4 hours ago, Eagles Lane Johnson to play versus Browns post concussion.
I've been on a plane.
Okay.
You guys also have a pretty winnable couple games coming up. So if you look at the Eagles' schedule right now, they've got the Browns this week, they've got the Giants next week, then they've got the Bengals, then they've got the Jaguars.
Okay.
So if they're healthy,
win some games.
if the Eagles are healthy, the Eagles are not out of it.
Here's another thing for you, Max. According to Sports Info Solutions, they have great stats. The Browns run a majority of single high safety. Guess who dominates single high safety?
Why don't you tell me?
AJ Brown. AJ Brown's going to feast in this game. All the overs. Come on, Max.
I'll be taking the unders.
Cooper DeJean is going to play in place of Avonte Maddox. That's got to get the Eagles fans going.
Come on.
Sure.
Did you guys see Deshaun Watson said that when talking about his benching and his bad play, he says, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on any social media or things like that. So anytime that stuff comes up, the only time I hear it is either you guys are bringing it up or somebody else outside the building. I just don't know who it's coming from.
I'm going to guess.
Everyone, Deshaun.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's probably heard a few fans that have said it at games.
There's no way he has not heard a single thing because everyone is saying it.
If he hasn't heard a single thing, then that would actually make me more concerned for Deshaun because that means that he's got this attitude all the time, even though he doesn't know that people want him benched.
He would basically be Jimmy Carter. He's just not waking up some days.
Yeah, it's concerning that I don't believe him for the record. I think that Deshaun Watson walks around knowing that he shouldn't be starting right now. I did the math on some of this. Tell me if this is the craziest thing.
Okay.
If you're a Browns fan. Granted, this weekend you're playing in Philly, but you've got home games coming up. You're paying Deshaun, I believe, like $47 million,
Okay.
right, over the course of this season. And I don't think it's going to be $47 million every year, but I think it was $47 million this year. If you do the math on it and you do the capacity at the Browns Stadium, I think it's 65,000 people go to those games.
Okay.
Right? If they just all agreed to not buy any beer at the games, if there was $0 in concession sales at the games,
But you can't.
that comes out to about I believe that's $40 million a year.
But you can't ask Browns fans to do that.
Sneak your shit in. I'm saying I'm not saying don't drink at a
Because
Browns.
they got to watch Deshaun Watson.
Imagine going to a Browns game sober. Yeah, no one's going to do that.
That's actually Guantanamo.
But be creative. Sneak your beer in. Sneak your liquor in.
No concessions whatsoever.
No concessions. Go on a concession strike.
I like that.
Because a lot of the season tickets have already been sold for a lot of the fans, so you can't go on like a strike because then, you paid for them. You want to go watch the games. Just sneak your beer in. Sneak liquor in. Bring plastic flasks.
Why don't we
into the
start
game.
with something easy? Let's go like no popcorn.
No popcorn.
No nachos. You got to let them get drunk.
Yeah, you got to eat. But I'm saying sneak your shit in.
Yeah. Because they can't watch Deshaun Watson sober.
You
That's torture.
You can do a plastic flask that you fill up from home. Duct tape it to your body under your shirt.
I like the idea.
Cleveland can do it. If any city can pull it off, I'm pretty sure it's the Browns.
Yeah. Come on, Max. You guys are going to win this game. When you win this game, we'd be happy?
No.
Oh.
I refuse to get excited about any Philly sports teams for the rest of my life.
You gotta care, dude.
It's not true.
You gotta care.
I saw a tweet.
Are you thinking about abandoning the city or just not rooting for any team?
Windows are closed. Rebuild every team. I was telling this to memes. The next team that wins a championship in Philadelphia will be the Flyers, because I don't give a fuck.
Last 24 months for being a Philly fan. Phillies blow. This is actually, when did you start producing the show?
That would be 2 months before the beginning of this tweet.
Okay, so you started 2 months before this. Phillies blow World Series after 2-1 series lead. Eagles blow second half in Super Bowl. Sixers blow Game 6. Game 7 to Celtics. Phillies blow Game 6. Game 7 in NLCS. Eagles start 10-1, crash and burn. Sixers lose to Knicks in first round. Phillies lose to Mets in NLDS.
Also, don't forget the Union lost the MLS Cup in overtime.
And
after they were winning, I think, in the 89th minute, and the Philadelphia Water Dogs finished second place.
they stink.
Which one of those was the worst, Max?
Do you want me to read them again just so you know?
No.
Phillies blow World Series after 2-1 series lead in 2023. Eagles blow second half lead in Super Bowl. Sixers blow Game 6, Game 7 to Celtics. Phillies blow Game 6, Game 7 in NLCS. Eagles start 10-1, crash and burn. And Sixers lose to Knicks first round. Phillies lose to Mets in NLDS.
I think it's this one. There's no hope. The window's closed for every team.
Okay. Close them up.
There's at least the last one we were like, at least we got the Phillies. There's nothing that I can say right now like
Sixers,
at least,
Embiid.
No.
Oh, what about playoff B?
Dead.
You haven't even seen
Yabu.
them. You haven't seen this new Sixers.
You got
team.
Yabu.
Okay.
Max, what if you win the next 4 games?
Nope.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either. If the Eagles dominate the next 4 games, you're going to be right back.
They haven't dominated a game in like 5 years.
Well, that's not true. They started 10-1 last year, remember?
And they
But
crashed
even
out.
those games, they didn't dominate any of them.
But no, that's not true. I'm looking at it right now. Phillies blow World Series after 2-1
No.
series lead.
Stop doing
Eagles
this.
blow second half.
The Game 6 and Game 7's back to back. That hurts.
Oh, you're talking about Sixers blow Game 6, Game 7
Stop.
Celtics. Phillies blow Game 6, Game 7 LCS.
Oh, he's doing the earmuffs. Hey, Memes, can you...
Because there was
games.
2
Two
of them, so I was
games, two
wondering
games
which
to
ones
do
you
it,
were
yeah.
talking about.
Memes, can you ask Max if he thinks that there's any correlation between starting working on Part of My Take and Philadelphia sports going to shit?
Max, do you think there's any correlation between you starting on PMT and
He's doing the baby.
Philly sports?
He's
going
doing the
shit?
baby. Oh,
going baby
man.
mode.
He's going baby mode on us.
I can't hear you.
Okay, let's go to the afternoon games.
You're going to win this game, though, Max. Eagles money line.
Yeah. Chargers at Broncos. Rashawn Slater might be back. Joe Alt also might be back.
Well, I looked at their injury report on the Chargers. It honestly looks like their depth chart.
Yeah.
It's the longest injury
It
report
is.
that I've
It's
seen
very
in a long
long
time.
It's very Chargers.
It's extremely Chargers.
Yeah.
Yes. We haven't seen Justin Herbert look anything like he's looked in years past. I don't know if it's Greg Roman.
They said they were going to try to throw more.
I was always told that Justin Herbert. I distinctly remember. Maybe I'm being Berenstein Bears or Mandela affected, but Justin Herbert at one point was a dynamic quarterback with a sick ass arm, right?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of last year, I feel like he was, and then he got hurt, and now they've changed the offense, and they're trying to run the ball, and he got hurt again. So it kind of just gets hurt every time.
Yeah.
I think I like the Chargers in this game. I said it. There's another one that felt too obvious, where I was like, ooh, Broncos at home? +3?
Are they going to wear the blue helmets?
If they do, I'm taking the Broncos.
At some point, there should be a director of common sense for the Broncos that sees how awesome those helmets were, and they're just like, fuck it, we're not doing any of the other uniforms for the rest of the year. These were so good, they're uniforms again.
Yeah.
True throwbacks.
Start of last year, yeah. He had 305 yards and 2 touchdowns in a game against the Titans. He had 405 yards, 3 touchdowns in a game against the Vikings. I think that's right around where he got hurt. But yeah, he was doing okay last year, and then it just kind of fell off, and he got hurt, and the whole team. Remember, Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
Remember Brandon Staley?
I remember Brandon Staley.
Yeah. We remember Brandon
He was so
Staley.
frustrating.
Yeah. So it's somewhere in there. Put up 4 touchdowns, 323 against the Lions in a shootout. It's somewhere.
Maybe if
I think they're going to try to throw it more. And also, if Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt come back, like that's enormous.
Yeah.
Especially against a very good Broncos defense.
Do you think that Harbaugh was watching that Chiefs game and he saw the Travis Kelce lateral and he thought to himself, what if we did this lateral, but we pitched it back to Joe Alt? That would be awesome.
Rumbling, stumbling.
Let him carry the ball a little bit.
Did you see Sean Payton addressed the Bo Nix exchange on the sidelines where Bo Nix yelled at Sean Payton? He said, it's all good. It's the heat of the moment. It's the game. It's competitive. He's fiery. This is basically just a cliche for all of this. We're in the business of passion. We're looking for passion, and we're looking for people who have passion for the game, not other things. I think that is so important to him. Again, I love his response. We're on to the next play, and it's nothing.
I like saying
just every cliche mixed in with just a sandwich, and in the middle the meat was, we're in the business of passion.
I like business of passion.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to say about your team.
Business of passion.
Listen, I like watching Bo Nix play. He might not be the best, but goddamn, he is fun.
Yeah, very fun. Steelers at Raiders. Aiden O'Connell is the quarterback.
This is perfect because that means I could see Antonio Pierce taking him out of the game in like the second quarter.
Yep, for Gardner.
Based on play.
Yep.
Not because of injury or anything like that. I could see Gardner coming off the bench. And guess what? That's how you get a spark.
Yep.
You get spark Gardner.
Possibly Russ.
Possibly Russ. I don't know. I can't begin to understand what Mike Tomlin is thinking because he doesn't. And he's got the right idea, which is why would I say anything to you guys?
Yeah.
Like we handle everything behind closed doors. The Patriots should have done that with Drake May. But I understand where he's coming from, but he's hard to read.
Should Mike Tomlin cut George Pickens?
No.
Did you watch some of the tape?
Yes.
Holy fuck, he's not trying at all. And then after, or this week in the media availability, he was asked if, like, how he can get more touches, his snaps back. And he said, it's not on me. It's all up to Arthur.
Yeah. I mean, this is George Pickens.
But it's not, it would be one thing if he was lighting it up.
Yeah.
He's just a negative right now.
Yeah. This is George I love players like this because we missed the era of the diva wide receiver.
But he's not even you can't even say he's a wide receiver right now.
Yeah,
he's not even running routes.
He's just kind of out there.
He's just a diva. So
open fucking always.
I'm just, I don't know what, and Russ he's fully practicing now. He did the media availability. I wonder if he's the only practice guy ever who does eye black, but he had eye black on.
Yeah.
For practice.
I mean, when it comes time for like the road trips that Russell Wilson knew he wasn't going to play in, he was just telling his family like, "Hey, I got a business trip that I got to go to. You'll see me on the sidelines when I go there. Just trying to get out of the house for a little bit."
Yeah, great uniform matchup. I love when the Steelers and the Raiders play.
Yeah, it is good. So we always talk about Tomlin being when he's an underdog, scrappy underdog, bet on him. He's also in the last 4 seasons. He's 4-2 against the spread when he's a road favorite.
Oh.
So this is another good situation for Mike Tomlin.
I do think, even though Nick Herbig is out, I think that the Steelers' pass rush is going to be all over Aiden O'Connell because they can't block anyone for the Raiders. I lean the Steelers, but man, George Pickens, he's in my head.
Yeah, that's what he does best.
But he's not doing anything.
He's so fun though.
But he's not fun. That's the thing. He is fun when he's playing and catching, but he's not fun.
Yeah.
George Pickens is if you just watch a highlight tape of George Pickens, you're like, this is the greatest wide receiver ever. Then you watch him in a game, you're like, is this guy even trying?
Yeah, and if Russell Wilson gets in, I predict that George Pickens will hate Russell Wilson even more than he hates Justin Fields.
Although Russell
I think things will get worse.
He might just try to throw to him all the time just to try to get him.
That would be the smart thing.
Yeah.
Is get him involved early.
Get him involved early. Best game in the afternoon, Lions and Cowboys. I'm so pumped for this game.
Yeah, it should be high scoring. I hope it's high scoring.
Yeah, I think it will be. I have some good quotes from you from the Lions this week. We had Dan Campbell, Frank Ragnow hurt his pec. Dan Campbell said he was walking through the facility last week when out of nowhere someone punches me against the wall. Then I get punched again, and I realize that it's Frank trying to show me that his pec is great. That's his way of telling me, look how strong I am. It's good.
Yeah, I like that.
That's how they figure out injuries in Detroit. I fucking love it.
I also think this might be one of those examples of Dan Campbell. knowing what people will think about him, and then leaning into it and tossing some red meat out there, like when he talks about having the lion on the sidelines.
Yep.
I think Dan Campbell is secretly way smarter than we think that he is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he loves having people think that he's a dumb meathead.
Yeah.
So this might be one of those things. He's like, I know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We're gonna just do injuries by punching.
Yeah.
And if you can hurt me, then you're good.
You're back.
You're good to play football.
Yeah. We also had. Did you guys see Jordan Lewis's the Cowboys cornerback quote? It's one of my favorite quotes ever. So Amon-Ra said that last year when they played, that Jordan Lewis was talking crazy like some shit I've never heard before. They asked Jordan Lewis about this. They're like, hey, this is what Amon-Ra said. He said, I honestly don't remember. Sometimes I just black out, just go somewhere else with it. But if I said anything disrespectful, I'd probably say it again.
Love that. Stand by.
It's just like, I probably said some fucked up shit, and guess what? I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. Calling your buddies after a night out. Hey, I don't know what happened at the end of last night, but I meant every single word that I said.
So good.
Yeah.
I fucking love that quote. As for this game, I do think with Dallas's defensive line being decimated, so I mentioned them before, but Sports Info Solutions has so the Lions run the most 12 personnel of any team in the league. The Cowboys ranks versus 12 personnel 23rd against run plays, last against play action. I think this is going to be every Lions offensive weapon just going fucking off. And honestly, I think the Cowboys are going to be able to move the ball too, because the Lions run a lot of man coverage, and I think Dak is going to this is going to be I think it's going to be a points fiesta.
I like that.
I hope I'm right, because I need a points fiesta in the afternoon, but I want a points fiesta.
Yeah, so Detroit is 6th in the league at rushing, 151.3 yards per game, and the only team with 2 backs in the top 20 in rushing. And Dallas has the 24th ranked run defense.
Yeah.
And then you can drill it down further. 12 personnel. Warren Sharpe taught us 1 running back, 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the Cowboys defensive line, they're bad against the rush, and they also are injured. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Mike is back. He possibly is.
Well, as Skip Bayless will say, missing Parsons report has been filed.
He's not happy. Micah Parsons ruled. Oh no, that's for Steelers. Jerry Jones leaves glimmer of hope regarding Micah Parsons' status for Lions Cowboys. I love that Jerry Jones is the one.
It's perfect, right? Like this is a job for a head coach. Instead, you've got the owner / GM / warlord of Arlington, Texas.
It's
just
perfect.
going out there and telling the coach what's happening.
Yeah.
Remember last year in this game? That was a great game.
Great game.
I think we were in Arizona.
Yeah,
for
we were
the
driving
Barstool
back.
Bowl. We were
watching
driving
it,
back.
yeah.
And the ending of this game was peak Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
If you thought that what Dan Campbell did in the NFC Championship game was reckless, this was way crazier at the end of that 2-point conversion.
So
Gets
much
backed
fun.
up. Fuck it. Let's still keep going for it.
Yep.
So Dan Campbell's going to let it all hang out this week.
Yeah.
This is nuts hanging out game.
Yeah, this is a revenge game.
Yep.
Okay, Falcons at Panthers is the last afternoon game. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I'm the Panthers are back. We had the fun Andy Dalton week, and now it feels like we're just back to they got more injuries on the offensive line. Like I kind of want to take the Panthers, but I also, because I just feel like Kirk Cousins is playing above his head right now, but this game stinks.
I think Cousins is going to get better as the season goes on too, because he's going to get healthier. He's going to be more comfortable with the new wide receivers.
This game stinks.
Yes, but I'm kind of going to disagree with that.
Why?
It doesn't stink in a way of, you know how on YouTube TV where it says like, here's your moment of zen during commercial breaks, and it just plays like butterflies landing? Watching Andy Dalton and Kirk Cousins going up against each other in a football game, that's kind of like moment of zen.
Yeah.
It's good to have it just there. I don't really care about it, but it's good that it's on.
Yeah, I just think the
Calming.
Falcons are going to probably kill him, and it's just going to be another one of those, oh man, the Panthers. Like, you had 1 week. That Raiders win was awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
I think it's just good. I think it's good for the soul to have Andy Dalton and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. All right, Sunday Night Football, Bengals at Giants. Must win for the Bengals. We've been on a must-win watch basically every single week. They had a players-only meeting on the defense.
Mutiny?
Nope. Players-only meeting. And Mike Hilton said, I know we've been playing like shit for real, honestly.
Yeah.
He said this, by the way. Did you guys know there's a beat reporter for ESPN.com who covers the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah.
Whose name is Ben Baby? Yeah, I love that. Ben Baby.
I laugh
That's
every
his
time.
name.
Every time I see it.
Ben Baby. Great name. Seems like an awesome guy. But yeah, I I would say that that's true. They have been, what's the quote again? I know we've been playing like shit for real, honestly. That's a for real and an honestly.
It's for real, honestly, like shit.
Yeah.
So I like the Bengals in this game.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is 1-13 in primetime.
Oof.
Not a great record for Danny.
Oof.
So, again, it's must-win. It's a season of must-win games.
It's a season of must-win games. The Giants' defensive line is very good. Their secondary is a little suspect. I think Joe Burrow's going to keep... Joe Burrow has to do it all.
Yeah.
Until their defense shows up, he's got to do it all.
And do we have neighbors coming back?
I believe so.
Okay. I like that. So it'll be fun to watch.
It's going to be a fun game. I'm actually like weirdly... The Giants, if they had lost to the Seahawks, we'd be going into this game being like, ugh. Or even if the Giants had lost and the Bengals had won, be like, forget it. But the Giants are frisky.
Yeah.
They're a frisky team.
And their defensive line is good.
Yeah.
Like, no joke, they're good. I think they lead the league in sacks. They got 22 sacks.
So this is going to be a fun game. I'm excited for this game. Any other thoughts from week 6? Max, you want to take back anything you said about the Eagles? He's now, this is great podcasting.
Max,
He's shaking his head.
What about this stat? People talking shit about the NFC East this year. The NFC East against the AFC North.
This is just a stat to compliment yourself.
No, it's not.
It is.
I'm done. I'm done hearing it.
We're 5-1.
Done.
Hank,
This
what do
is
you
sad.
think about this?
Yes.
Max, you gotta care, dude. Like,
He's saying you gotta care
Well, you know why he's saying that.
because he doesn't care.
Yeah. Hank, there's been
There's
been reports
envy him.
that
I
Hank
envy
doesn't
him.
care. Those are erroneous. Hank does care about some
you envy
things.
Hank?
Yes. The fact that he can like watch his teams just play like shit and be like, oh well, at least I can golf tomorrow.
I actually can't. It's depressing. It's the fall's hitting hard.
Oh, we just got a meeting email for the mutiny tomorrow. I don't think there's ever been a mutiny that we've done an email for, but yeah, Friday, October 11th, 11 a.m. mutiny. Me, Memes, Shane, Max, Pug, PFT.
Let me see.
I'm replying yes.
Wait,
I will be there.
Mutiny invitation from.
I will be
there. It is.
I can't wait for this mutiny. What are we gonna do though, Memes?
I don't know.
Put them in a trash can?
I spoke to the advisor guys. They also want in.
Oh, hell yes.
Is anyone bringing snacks?
Oh, Hank just nodded like, of course they want a mutiny.
No, I don't believe that. I think I like Memes trying, but I
Quiggs was like, Hank did something yesterday, so I'm in.
Oh, mutiny.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, what did you do? He sounded pissed.
Sounds like you did something.
You didn't do anything? Like you didn't work?
No, I was working.
You
all
were
day.
working. Hank cares, guys, about things.
Memes,
all right.
do you feel bad at how bad Max feels?
I feel bad
Oh,
for Max on those streams.
yes.
Yes. I got a
I
text
do
from my
too.
dad. He also feels bad.
Oh, that's
I
two.
appreciate that.
That's
I appreciate
that's
that from you,
sir. Second Filiberto has felt bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say.
That's it. That's all we got. All right, should we do our picks? Let's win a fucking touchdown parlay. We were close last week. I think we had 2 out of 3, and I don't know
that
who
was on me.
Okay. So DraftKings, everyone has a shot to score big with DraftKings touchdown parlay profit boost. This week, all customers can get up to 100% profit boost on any NFL touchdown parlay. The more touchdown bets you add to your bet slip, the bigger the boost and the bigger your winnings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for everyone to score up to 100% profit boost on any NFL touchdown parlay. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Let's do it in here because Max, should we just do all Eagles? Try to prove a point.
I mean, I do like A.J. Brown to score.
All right, so A.J. Brown's in there.
He was going to be my pick anyway.
You want to go? I'll go A.J. Brown, David Montgomery. Hank.
I have to pick an Eagle.
No, you can pick
Oh,
anyone.
I was gonna pick Jamar Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
Hank, what's your coach's name?
I'm not good at speaking. Whatever.
All right, Jahmyr Gibbs is in. I'll do Jamar Chase. Okay, because that was a sign you just gave by saying Jamar Gibbs. That means you meant Jamar Chase. So it's going to be A.J. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamar Chase. I like it. That's all 3 windows. Just got to get one a window. We can do this, boys. We can do this. All right, so let's do picks. What's the record and who's going first?
The records are Big Cat 6-4, Memes 5-5, PFT 5-5, Hank 4-6, Max 3-6-1.
Oh.
When are we going to do this? Big Cat, when are we going to do this baseball
Hiding
challenge?
of the giggle was I wish you just laughed out loud.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Man.
Where's
It's
Max?
okay, Max.
Max.
Philadelphia wants
He's taking the headphones off again. Okay, let's do some picks. Hey, who's up first?
I go first.
Memes.
I'm taking the Lions -3.
Hank made a face like he's calling Cap. Do you go first?
No, I trust him.
Okay.
It's week 6. There's 5 of us.
All right, you like the Lions?
Got you there. Do the math real quick. 5 of us, week 6. We started with memes.
So this is me.
Got it? I'm waiting for Hank to get it.
I thought we started with me. That was where I was mistaken.
Got it.
Me, right?
Yeah.
I'll be taking the Browns +9.5.
Why not money line?
I'm going to take the Eagles -9.5.
I'm going to take the Browns Eagles over 42.5.
I'm going to take the Saints +3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take the over in the Chargers Broncos over 35.5.
I will take the Bears -1.5.
I'm going to take the Bucs Saints over 41.
Okay, Spencer Rattler.
Yep.
I will take the Bears Jags under 44.5.
I like that pick, Max. I like that pick, Max.
I will take the Bengals Giants under 47.5.
Why wouldn't you take the under in the Browns-Eagles game, Max?
I thought about it. That was my first initial thought, but now I was like, I don't know.
Oh,
Nah.
A.J. Brown's going to probably eat.
Nope. No. Well, then the defense. Because then the defense would have to step up. And
But
Deshaun
yeah,
would have
but
to-
there's part of you that's like, ooh, this is going to be a good game for the offense.
Nope. Nope.
I don't know. All right. Before we get to Skip Bayless, who's awesome interview. He was in studio. Let's do Fantasy Ladbois again for London. Brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. This segment is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Water, the alkaline water that provides real hydration with electrolytes for taste. Everybody is always drinking it around the office. The sports drink, the zero sugar, and even the Flash IV after a long weekend. We can't get enough Body Armor. The sport water, in my opinion, it's the best water on the market. Head on over to your local 7-Eleven and get your Body Armor Sport Water today. Hoi!
Oi.
Oi!
Hello, chaps.
Oi.
My name's Jibby.
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 Jibby
McRibby.
Jibby
Jimmy
McRibby.
Jimmy McRibby.
Jibby
My start on this
McRibby.
week is Utah Hockey.
Utah. The hockey team in Utah.
They soak over
They
there.
play hockey on the pond out in hockey. They broke a beer sales record at the Delta Center night 1.
But wait, I thought they was the Latter-day Saints.
I thought they drank the milk.
They're excited to drink. They're excited to soak. They're doing puck and they're not fucking.
Oh,
Not
They're
fucking.
soaking.
soaking.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Utah Hockey. Terrible name.
What should their name be?
They should have mascots. Teams should have mascots.
They should be the Utah Oasis.
The Yeti.
Oasis is back.
Abominable snowman.
Mossitum. Rafa.
Oh, Rafa.
He retired. He's sitting down forever. Could
Oh.
never hold a torch to our boy Roger Fed.
Roger.
He's no Roger.
Roger that.
He's no Djokovic.
He's the king of clay. But Roger's the king of everything.
Why you like Roger?
Everything.
What do you like about Roger?
He's a good old boy.
From where?
Roger.
From where?
I don't know where he's from.
You think he's from England?
Yeah, I think he's...
You thought he was from England. He's from Switzerland.
He's from Switzerland.
He's from Switzerland, you fuck. You thought he was from England.
You
No,
thought,
no.
you thought, you
You
thought
thought-
he was Andy Murray.
You
No,
thought
he's
he
just
was.
the king of Wimbledon. He's the king of our home
You
country
thought he was
tournament.
from England.
No, he's just the king of Wimbledon.
You don't know your fucking country's history.
He's the king of grass.
He wears all white just like those hockey virgins.
In Utah.
My sleeper, Deontay Johnson, this week going up against Atlanta. He's first in red zone targets. He's 5th in targets overall.
What you doing there? You got some stats.
I'm giving the people a sleeper.
Should we sing a bit of a tune?
If you got him on your bench, put him in the game.
Should we sing a bit of a tune?
I'll be your dream.
I'll be your wish. I'll be your... We did this last week. Let's do another one. So after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe, you're gonna be the one that saves me, And after all, you're my wonderwall. That's a good tune.
Thanks.
I had a couple pints with the lads. Hey, I'm British.
Hey, British.
That's my name.
Oh.
I'm British. I'm British person.
British person number 2.
Just British first name, last name, person.
Person.
This week I'm starting a cup of tea.
Oh.
Starting a cup of tea. Aaron Rodgers had a cup of tea.
What's the tea?
He had a tea. Ayahuasca.
Oh.
And then you drink it and then you fire your boss.
And then you puke.
It's
You
mutant.
vomit.
It's mutant tea.
You
is
vomit
what it
everywhere
is.
on the street,
Yeah,
in the alley.
Indeed you do. You hallucinate just a wee bit. Not the tea time that Henry Lockwood has.
No.
Different type of tea time.
Golfed in weeks.
That's not true. We golfed this week
That
with
was
you.
for work.
Yeah, but we did. We saw you golf this week.
And it was
Video out soon. Make sure you watch it.
You got a spot,
Really
T.
watch the part with Henry.
Perhaps the final 9 holes you were on some ayahuasca yourself.
It's for anyone who doesn't like Henry. Watch that video.
This
It
one's-
won't be out for a couple weeks.
That doesn't
Oh,
matter.
who's
It's
that?
worth
Just-
it's
What voice
worth
is
the
that?
fucking wait.
Maxwell, I think you should talk in that accent. You sound so much more cheery.
Cheerio. It's worth the fucking
Maxwell,
wait. That
Maxwell,
video.
what do you think about Philadelphia sports, Maxwell? In this voice.
I don't really know how to do this voice.
They're rubbish. Right. Listen, that video could come out in 2035 and it would be worth the wait.
I'll pay £7 for it right now.
Yeah. I'd mortgage my house for it.
I'd kill another queen for it.
I'd sell my flat.
I'm sitting this week. This week I'm sitting on my couch all weekend because college football.
Fuck yeah.
Great day on Saturday. Proper day on Saturday.
Proper day.
And then also sitting on my couch on Sunday because it's a great day of football on Sunday it is. And then on Monday, is it Columbus Day?
It is Columbus Day.
Columbus Day, where we found the new world and we started some colonies that ended up beating us in a war. And then my sleeper this weekend is Bob Costas.
Oh.
Bob Costas because he makes me want to fall asleep.
He was talking Mark Twain.
He makes me want to fall asleep. Every time I hear him, he does.
He's a bum.
And there's a drive to center field. Wait, was that caught? Did they catch that? Oh, they caught. Oh, me.
Bob Costas is positively rubbish.
He's Robert. He hasn't been good since he had the pink eye.
The pink eye.
My cousin gave him the pink eye when he was overseas here in England for the Olympics. He took a big steaming crap on his eyeball. He did.
He put his bum on his face.
He was eating his rusty trombone out like he was playing the tuba.
Hey, oi.
Oi.
My name is Harry Potter.
Hello.
Harry Potter.
Hello, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a wizard, Harry.
You got struck by lightning, Harry.
Not really. It was a witch's spell. Right?
Wizard.
A wizard's spell. My Sodom is
Dark Lord.
Ben Simmons. He said it's disrespectful that fans think he's robbing NBA teams.
I agree with Ben Simmons.
I fucking love this guy. He just doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Take the piss.
Takes the piss out of it.
You think he's taking the piss right now? I think he's taking the piss. I think he's going to be very good player this year. This is the year we don't count out Ben Simmons.
Yeah. My Sim is Lieutenant Dan, the guy who's riding out the hurricane out in Florida.
You got new legs.
Yeah. Turns out he might be a bit of alleged pedophile. So we should probably not make him a star.
Plot twist. Yes, Henry?
Do you have the plot twist?
Plot twist.
Oh, it's a plot twist that he's a pedophile.
Yeah, there's a pedophile plot twist.
Oh, there's a pedophile plot twist.
Hey, make the sound memes.
There's a
make the
pedophile
sound
plot
new
twist.
segment.
Here we
There's
go.
a guy with the same name as Lieutenant Dan who is a pedophile.
Oh.
Lieutenant Dan is a criminal.
Oh, he's not a pedophile.
Fought a cop and tried to light a woman on fire.
Oh, okay, so I'll take it back. He's not a pedophile.
But not convicted for pedophilia.
No pedophile there.
He tried
He's just
to-
maybe been arrested a few times. He done little bit in the bin.
Tried to light a woman in fire, and then when the cops arrested him, he punched the cop.
Oh,
Sorry,
But not a pedophile.
He punched the cop for unfairly trying to stop him from lighting a woman on fire.
got it.
Something
But not a
something like
pedophile.
that.
So he's okay.
He's okay.
Could be a pedophile.
Yeah.
Possible pedophile.
My sleeper is the clocks because guess what? We're turning them forward.
That's right. I'm going to climb up to the top of Big Ben this weekend and just pull it right down.
Turn it around.
Pull it down for an hour.
Turn around.
Bright eyes.
Every now and then.
When I see that look in your eyes.
Turn around. Bright eyes.
And I need you now tonight. I need you more than ever. Just wanna hold you tight.
I fucking need you more than ever.
That's a song by a man named Meatloaf. R.I.P.
Good job, Fantasy Ladbois. Do reminder to everyone that we do change the clocks this week, so lose an hour of sleep.
Fall back.
Yeah, sucks for the kickoff of the Bears-Jaguars.
But you get an extra hour at the bar.
That's true.
I think drinks should be free during that hour.
Yes. So change those clocks. Skip Bayless time. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
PFT, you got a couple ads.
Skip Bayless in studio, and he's brought to you by our great friends over at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done the Mount Rushmore of pickup trucks, and that's because Chevy Silverado is the best truck ever, and it would just be 4 spots of the Chevy Silverado. Love Chevy. They've been a big part of the Part of My Take story throughout the years. They help us present the Low Man Award. They drove us across the country when we were going out to the big game in Los Angeles a couple years ago. And they also help us out a lot on Grit Week. They get us around on Grit Week. We're always driving in the back of a Chevy Silverado. It's the best truck. It's got all the screens on the inside, and it's super comfortable. Very comfortable. You can fit 4 or 5 people in there, and it feels like you're in a living room, basically. It's a great truck. If you see the Chevy Silverado in person, you're going to fall in love with it. Love at first sight. They've also got the new Silverado HD Trail Boss. It's got a blacked out look. It looks incredible. They bring legendary grit paired with modern truck tech inside and out. Go over to Chevy.com, build your own Silverado or your Silverado HD. Check out all the current offers on Silverado. You too can discover a world of strength and capability all behind the wheel of our favorite truck in the world. That would be the Chevy Silverado. Skip Bayless is also being brought to you by Part of My Cheesesteak. Part of My Cheesesteak, you can find it near you. Order yours at partofmycheesesteak.com, and we're giving you free delivery. Use promo code AWL. Promo code AWL. Get free delivery on a Part of My Cheesesteak. I like the Chipotle cheesesteak. Got a little kick to it. I like the Chipotle chicken cheesesteak, the chicken bacon ranch cheesesteak, and the classic cheesesteak. They're all good. Check them out. Partofmycheesesteak.com. Use code AWL for free delivery. Now here he is, Skip Bayless.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest in studio. It is Skip Bayless. Never thought we'd see the day, but he's here in the flesh. Skip, we got a lot of questions, but let's start with something easy. Warm us up.
Okay.
Is Dak Prescott a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
By the way, could I jump in before I answer that question?
Go for it.
This is surreal to me.
To you?
Yeah,
Surreal to us.
Yeah, for similar reasons. So I was blessed to break through in this business for the first time really in about 2010 into 2011, which was the Tim Tebow run through that NFL season. And on First Take, we started to crush. And we took over the sports media world. And then Stephen A. joined me the following year. We took it up a level. And it dawned on me last night as I was thinking about joining you guys that you guys were in the rightest place at the rightest time, and you became, if I may, Stephen A. and Skip. Like you took over as I was leaving Stephen A. to go to Fox and FS1, you guys rose to the top of the sports media world right on time. And so it's bizarre to me in a surreal way that I'm on with you, because I honor what you guys have achieved, because I know what it feels like to be where you are now, and I congratulate you on that.
You.
And it takes some luck. It does take
big time
some
luck.
right place, right time.
Yes. Yeah.
and you were right on schedule to do what you did in this world as I was in the linear TV world.
And I would say that your career helped our career in the fact that you guys would have the dumbest debates sometimes not, sometimes real, sometimes, would you say sometimes dumb?
No, I would.
When you
I
did
can't
like
go dumb.
LeBron versus MJ and horse.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got you
we
there.
Did LeBron. No, we did him playing one-on-one.
Okay, one-on-one.
Yeah.
But no, I think we
because
found a niche.
MJ would destroy him in one-on-one. That's just me. Okay, if you want to do that, I'll do it.
But the niche that we found is that we just talk sports like two regular guys.
Okay,
and
all right.
and it helped that we could kind of
You
play off
did.
of the
You
debate
did.
shows.
Well, you took a title, and I'm proud to say I was responsible for half of your title and the origin of it.
Yes, you were. Yes.
I actually
Pardon my
didn't realize that until I think 2 weeks into the show. I was like, wait, we're called Pardon My Take. Because it's
Yeah.
And then we
part
got
of the
a
interruption
cease and
first take.
desist from ESPN, and we're like,
Okay.
PFT was like, "What's this?" I was like, "Well, we did rip off the name."
But you ripped it off in like a fun way.
Yeah.
Like you're saying to your audience, we're not going to take it as seriously as they do.
Correct.
We're going to do this.
Right, right.
You know,
And
we're
that's-
just going to
yeah,
be
so
two
you
guys
helped us.
talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one of us is Stephen A. and which one is Skip?
You know, I knew you were going to ask me that, and I didn't want to have to go there. I think you're both Skip.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
okay?
nice.
I like that. How about that?
You know, we used to have two frogs named Stephen A. and Skip.
I did not
Both
know
died.
that.
Oh, that was a tragedy.
Yeah, that was a tragedy.
But
They got
the-
sucked up into the filter.
Yeah, there was a
No,
white.
wait, they died tragically?
They died tragically.
Not of old age?
We had a run of pets where they would just die. We had goldfish, we had frogs,
Yeah.
they would just die. But we did name them.
It was
after you
we had a
guys.
white one and a black one. The white one was Stephen A. and the black one was Skip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, look. I like to argue, and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
It's like my life. It's what I was born to do, born to be. And so I wanted to actually debate authentically
Yeah.
on television where I took it seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to trick it up. It's going to be real. I'm not going to say anything I don't believe. And Stephen A. was the perfect foil for me. I'm from Oklahoma City. He's from Queens. I'm white. He's black. And yet, from the start, we loved each other. And he knew from the start, even though I'm trying to like rip his throat out in the debate, that I always told him, no punches pulled, but none thrown. We can't get to the point where we're going to throw punches or the audience is just going to turn it off because they don't want to see mad. They just want to see heated.
Right.
They want to see emotion. They want to see passion, but they don't want to see strangle each other across the table.
Right.
And Stephen A. and I were great that way because he wanted to beat me, but he knew in the end I would protect him.
Yeah.
And he knew I had his back, and he knew I loved him like a brother, and we're still to this day brothers. So the point was that we did that because I pushed for it, and then you guys took it someplace new and different where you can kind of argue about sports, but you don't do it the way we did. I'm not going to lose the debate.
Right.
And by the way, I never lost a debate to Stephen A. Smith.
Is that true? You're like
Ever.
Lenny Dykstra's stock record?
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
no, he lost one. He
lost
lost one. He was like 350 and one stock
The
picks.
thing that I loved about First Take, which made it very different from like Around the Horn,
Yeah.
which you guys both had, it was similar in that every conversation was a competition, right? But the thing I loved about First Take is there's no score being kept.
We
So-
tried that once, and it
doesn't work. And
no,
he-
you know what would happen? We let the audience sort of, I don't even know
Yeah.
what technology we're using to let the audience actually score the debate on the fly. And I would lose 100-1 every time because I was the most hated man in sports media.
I was
So
the one
we-
person
we-
that was voting for you, by the way.
Okay, thank you for that. I
But I remember I had the ESPN phone, and I would text in afterwards. But the great thing about First Take was after it was over, the winner of the debate was actually up for debate. Then you got to debate with people about, hey, do you like Skip?
Yeah.
Do you like Stephen A? And I always said the perfect thing about what you guys had was you took two guys that were very, very skilled at screaming at each other, and they were maybe the only two people at ESPN that would disagree on both of the two questions of is LeBron James good and is Tim Tebow bad? And putting
true.
that together, there was some magic that happened.
It was
And
magic.
Big fan of of that entire era. You actually believe the Tim Tebow stuff too, right? Like you believe that Tim Tebow, if he was given a fair shot in the NFL.
I'm going to tell you what I said from day one after I watched Tim Tebow beat my Oklahoma Sooners. I grew up in Oklahoma City, an Oklahoma fan. I was born into the tradition, can't help myself. After I watched what he did to my Sooners in the second half of the championship game, and then I saw that video of him at halftime saying, we're going to take the ball, we're going to drive it down their throats. I said, God, I want that guy on my team. So I said on the air, on First Take, before the draft, if he's available at the bottom of the first round, I'm going to take him. And if I run his college offense, I'm going to win a lot of games in the National Football League. He'll never make a Pro Bowl, but I want him on my team. And Josh McDaniels, then the Denver head coach, took him with the 25th overall pick. And when he got his chance his rookie year after Josh got fired, so he lost his guy, go look at what happened the last 3 games of his rookie year when he did get to play. He put up big numbers, legs, and arm, and they won 2 of those 3 games, including one over the Texans at home, which he drove them to the winning touchdown at the end of the game. And obviously, when Elway and Fox took over the next year, they just wanted to get the Tebow thing out of the way. When they fell to 1-4, let's just get it over with. Let's throw him into the fire at Miami. Remember this?
Yeah.
And let's just get it over with because he'll suck and the fans will finally say, okay, you're right about this. And all the zealots out there will say, okay, that's enough of Tebow. And they won in overtime. And they kept winning games. As I kept saying, all he does is win. And so day after day on First Take, we would bring in a parade of ex-NFL players along with Stephen A. and others, and they would all fight me to the death over he can't throw. And I'd say, well, in the last 5 minutes of games, he has the best QBR in the National Football League throwing the football because, as Eric Mangini once said to me, you're right about this, he gets accurate when it's time to get accurate. Mm-hmm. So he takes a 1-4 team to the division title, and all those naysayers had to keep eating crow Monday after Monday after Monday, and obviously our ratings went through the roof. We did numbers in 2011 on ESPN2, obviously now pretty much abandoned by studio shows, but we did numbers on ESPN2 that will never, ever be touched because of me and Tebow.
Yeah, and you still think, he's not good.
Well, he never got another chance, did he?
Okay, all right,
he never did.
He's a winner, though.
You just basically
someday,
say that, yeah.
Seriously, 20 years from today, somebody who knows nothing about what we discussed, somebody will take the numbers and say, wait a second, this guy won the division in 2011, and then he beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a playoff game, and then he never got another chance to play? Mm-hmm. Never started another game. Nobody ever gave him a shot, right? Okay, how can you explain that? Well, you think he's just not good. And finally, I guess Belichick, Chip Kelly in Philly decided, well, he's just not good enough. But you have to give him a chance to win the game because I think he could have kept winning games.
What about this? What if you just made him a closer, like in baseball? Mm-hmm. He comes in, you get Dak out there for 3 quarters, Tebow comes in the 4th quarter.
It's a revolutionary thought, and it's a great one. And I do not disagree with that premise. It's just something the National Football League doesn't do because we don't do that. But someday somebody will try that and succeed with it, and then everybody will develop a closer for their team.
That would be awesome. Get some music playing, have him run out of the tunnel.
Yeah. So have you spoken with did Tim Tebow ever thank you for everything you did for him?
I interviewed him twice. We had him once on First Take, and then I went to the Super Bowls in Indianapolis that year, and I sat with him for an hour for a piece that we played on First Take. And I never got close to him. I never connected. I do believe in God. He obviously really believes in God in ways that I don't quite worship. But we never talked about that, and it surprised me, frankly, that off the air he didn't say something to me about any connection that we had. I didn't ever feel any closeness at all. So I didn't have a relationship. I don't have his contact. I just believed in him winning football games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you very artfully dodged the Dallas Cowboys portion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's get mascot.
I love that. Yeah,
What counts?
Is your jersey in the trash still?
I threw them away, and my wife burned them.
Did she burn the jerseys? Now,
wait, hang on. She took them out of the trash can.
She burned them
and then put them into the fire.
It was an exorcism. Yeah.
What happened with? Can you explain to me what happened with the smart trash can? That one video that was tough. It kept on closing on you.
Yeah, but was I not deadly accurate?
Yeah, I know, but that thing was bodying you.
Yeah,
it just kept on closing on you.
I know, but I didn't miss a throw because I was going Tebow like in the last 5 minutes where I'm out of my mind.
Yeah,
it's like pure anger is manifesting in my deadly accuracy.
Yes,
where I'm throwing with all my might. In fact, it reminds me a bit, if I may, my Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah.
We finally beat Alabama, and we kicked their ass.
Yeah.
We beat them fair and square because we outplayed them on Saturday in Nashville at our stadium, and our smart students then took the goalpost and carried it all the way down West End Avenue. It's like 3 miles to the Cumberland River, downtown Nashville, and threw the goalpost into the river. Mm-hmm. It's like 134 years of frustration because we hadn't beaten a top 5 team in 134 years of playing college football. And we took 134 years and threw it in the river. So I took every piece of Cowboy memorabilia that I own, jerseys, hats, scarves, and I fired every piece into the trash. She went into the trash and took all of the above and burned them in a big pile in the kitchen. She just set them on fire.
So you have no more Dallas Cowboys merch.
Well, I started over with a number 17 jersey because I thought he was the greatest kicker I've ever seen in my life. So I decided.
What about 11 from heaven?
New GOAT.
What about Parsons?
That's the new GOAT. I wish he made that kick against the Giants.
Are we talking about the guy I have to file a missing Parsons report for?
There we go.
Missing Parsons.
That's really good.
By the way, you're Vandy. I said this to you before when we talked for a minute, but you need to be called to task on your tweet after Vandy won when you said, if you watched or heard the end of this week's Skip Bayless show, I strongly hinted at this possibility but didn't want to predict the upset for fear Bama coaches would show it to their players and I would doom my school. You don't get credit for hinting.
Okay.
You got to take the pick.
Okay, but if you listen to the end of my podcast the week before, I whispered it at the end. I literally whispered, we have a quarterback.
You do.
Who gives us a chance to win every game, including this game. He just knows how to play, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell Alabama.
Thank God you whispered it because the Bama coaches, they probably can't hear the whispers.
I don't think they did. Although they did put mouse traps in each player's locker because this is going to be a proverbial quote-unquote trap game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trap shooting like clay pigeons, pull. Bam, like that's what the trap's going to be. But I wanted them to saunter in. I wanted them to be drained and a little down from the game of the year.
Yep.
The game before, and we were coming off a bye, and we do have a Diego Pavia who just knows how to win college football games. It's simple as that. He's played 5 years of college football and started every year, 2 at New Mexico Military, 2 at New Mexico State. He brought 5 coaches with him to Vanderbilt, including his offensive coordinator, because we needed him to put us on the national map.
And he did.
And if that's our version of NIL is hiring 5 coaches, that's what we have to do.
Yeah. All right. So I got a question. How do you watch all the games and how do you have the energy? I know you get up at like 2 a.m. to run and lift all the time, but has there been a moment in your career where you've started to run out of gas where you're like, I can't, I mean, it's pretty crazy that you're able to do it and keep this up.
Big Cat, if you know me, I am obsessed with this. I am still more on fire than I have ever been. I live for it. I eat, sleep, breathe it. I can't explain it. You can ask my wife. On our first date back in 2005, I told her, if this goes anywhere, you will always be number 2 to my work, because it's not work to me. It's my life. It's my reason for being. I love the games. It's not a task for me to watch the games. And then you have to figure out the why of what you just saw. So I'm really into processing the why and trying to see things others don't see. Not that I'm a shock jock. It's just, these things just come naturally to me. And then I'm going to say exactly what I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you surprise yourself sometimes when you're like, oh man, this is a fiery one that no one's going to see coming?
Yeah, but I don't think of it as a take, like a hot take. I hate that cliche.
Yeah.
It's just me. I don't know. It's just me being me.
You just think you have the ability to think counter to what most people are seeing and thinking. Like they'll see one thing and you're seeing, hey, this is actually the story here.
Yeah, I don't think of it that way, but I do think
it's clearly
turns
you do.
out that
you
way.
have that because you'll have opinions that's like, oh, I didn't even think about it that way. Wow.
That are fresh.
Yeah,
that make you think, and then you're going to sit back because you're a smart guy and you're a really smart guy, and you're going to sit back and say, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense because I'm not shock jockey to the point I'm coming up with something where I say, oh, this'll stir up the hornet's nest. I don't have a hornet's nest. I'm just me. I'm just seeing and saying exactly what I saw last night.
So you don't gamble on the games, do you?
Just with my pride.
Or like some Mountain Dew occasionally. But actually, that's a good point because you, in a weird way, you have a lot at stake on every game because you're rooting for what you just said about the game.
Yeah.
You're rooting for, your sometimes your takes that zig when everybody else zags. You're rooting for that to be right so you can get on the air and be
true.
like, I told you so.
Yeah. Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah. So when you watch the games, are you watching multiple games at once, or do you have what's your setup like?
My limit is 3 at once because I can't process. I have a hard time processing 2, but I try to go 3. I've got 2 giant screens, and then I always have some game on either phone or computer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you wake up, Big Cat alluded to the workout routine. How many hours a day are we working out now?
Okay, I do cardio every day for 1 hour, never miss.
What's
never
that, just
miss.
on a treadmill?
I used to run outside more. Now I'm confining everything to inside. I'm in LA. It's just too dangerous to run outside. There's psycho drivers in LA. I know they are in New York and Chicago and everywhere else, but it just got too dangerous. So I'm confining myself to all treadmill or upright exercise bike. So I do that for an hour, and I do not miss lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon. Every single week. I don't miss.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I remember there was a profile, I forget what magazine it was in, but somebody talked about what a psycho you were in the gym. Just like locked. What do you listen to when you work out?
A lot of times I'm listening to games.
Yeah,
like
really?
You're asking me how do you do it. I try to time it around a game, like because they start earlier in California, obviously in the West. So if it's 4:30 or 5, I've got a game on in my ear, or I'm just watching it at home. I got a home gym where I've got a TV in my home gym.
Yeah.
You really are just like all sports all the time.
Yeah,
which I love.
Is there date night?
Friday night.
Ernestine's an angel for
She's
dealing
a
with
saint.
this. Yeah, so their Friday night is date night.
Yep.
But the rest
And
of
cheat night, we have one slice of pizza every Friday night.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? We get really nuts.
And you eat
we get like psycho
Only
nuts.
one? You've done
That's
2.
the roll. I've done 2 a couple
you
times.
Have. I know you've done 2.
And you eat the same thing for lunch every day, right? You still do that?
I do. I'm crazy.
So
But
what do you eat?
You meal
I'm
prep?
happy crazy.
Every Monday you sit down, you make all your turkey sandwiches?
No, we have a chef make them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I eat white meat turkey and broccoli and brown rice and like beans, like dark beans. I have that kind of combination 2 big times a day, lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm. And then Friday 1, possibly 2 pieces of pizza, and that's it.
And we'll go frozen yogurt on Friday night.
Oh,
It's a big cheat.
Now you're
It's
getting
a big
bad,
cheat.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So when we were talking about the Cowboys earlier, it always reminds me of, to go back to you and Stephen A. having the constant debates about the Dallas Cowboys. You and Stephen A. part ways. You go out to the West Coast. The Cowboys lose in the playoffs. It felt like Stephen A. turned up the Cowboys dial a little bit.
Yeah.
Put the cowboy hat on.
Sure.
It always felt like he was sending secret messages to you. Like, this is for Skip. It's for an audience of 1. I'm still rubbing it in for Skip. Did you feel that way too?
I thought he was doing it for his ratings, just to remind everybody now he's the Cowboy hater as opposed to me being the Cowboy lover. So I thought it was smart on his part. Mm-hmm. But I'm a psycho, sicko Cowboy fan. I'm spoiled rotten. And you asked me about Dak.
Yeah.
I'm just not buying.
Yeah.
I don't believe. I've seen enough. I know what he is and what especially he is not. He is 2-5 in the postseason. And every time a big moment has come in a postseason game that is begging to be won, he's not there. And they played a game 3 years ago at San Francisco that was begging to be won by the defense when Micah was riding highest. And he was at least a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And he basically took over a game at San Francisco that the offense needed one play to be made, and Dak missed 5 open receivers in that game, and they lost a close game, and that was as close as they're ever going to come to getting to an NFC Championship game with Dak Prescott at quarterback.
Wow.
And yet Jerry has committed to him for 4 more years, made him the richest player in the history of pro football because Jerry just wants to sell tickets. And Dak will sell tickets because he's safe, and you know he's going to put up gaudy enough numbers to be somewhere on the fringe of the MVP race, and they'll win some games. I got them at 8-9, missing the playoffs, but they'll win enough games as they stole one the other night at Pittsburgh because of Dak in the end after he had 3 horrendous turnovers, 2 in the red zone. They'll be just good enough to be a factor, just good enough to be relevant, just good enough to be the team nobody can take their eyes off of. So that's why Dak is the quarterback. I was praying for Trey Lance to have a sensational preseason to the point that Jerry would say, well, maybe I should go here and plunge with him the way the Shanahans plunged. No.
Yeah, that did not happen.
Did not happen.
Sometimes wake up in cold sweats thinking about Mason Crossbar.
Yeah, no game has ripped my guts out more than that game did because that was arguably Dak's best game of his career. That was his first playoff game. That's when they were the 1 seed. That's when they had a home playoff game against Aaron Bleepin Rodgers, who always plays the best against the Dallas Cowboys. There's something
and the Bears, but yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's like too easy.
Yeah,
right?
that's also, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a
okay. So
that
they're the 1
haunts
seed
you.
at home.
Yeah.
And they're not ready to play. And they come out and fall, what was it, 21 to something behind, 21 to 3. And here came Dak, and here came Zeke. And Dak was made possible by Zeke, and I didn't see that coming. I was more Dak at that point, but Zeke was leading the league in rushing, and he was such a force and a factor that it allowed Dak to maximize himself as a 4th-round pick in his rookie year. So all of a sudden, bam, 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 he's got Des Bryant. We roll back, and we tie the game. And then it took Mason Crossbar hitting 2 intergalactic field goals that had no chance of making it over the crossbar. And the first one was a dying quail that he missed to the right. He actually, it was a near shank, but it was definitely a slice. And it faded just over the crossbar from 53, maybe the first one was. And the second one, we're indoors. And go back and look at, I dare anybody, call up the video. It hooks badly off his foot. There's no wind indoors. He hooked it, and as soon as it left his foot, I won. And the hand of God comes down and pulls the ball back inside the left upright. I don't know how a football hooked left and then somehow faded back to the right with no wind. I don't know how it happened. It was not meant to be.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest they've come to. That was a pretty good team too. Well, let me ask this about this the new iteration that we see the Cowboys. Are we still all in, or are we all in my ass?
All in my ass. I tweeted that and it blew up, and I was like, "What's wrong with that?" I think somebody thought it was some perverse sexual.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what people
Right,
thought.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it's just all in my ass.
All in my
Right?
ass.
Yeah.
You follow no one on Twitter. Do you ever see any other tweets? Like what's up with that?
You asked me about forming opinions.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be influenced by what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
So I don't need that. I don't want that. I want to be completely true to myself, authentic. As cliched and silly as that might sound to you guys, I just want to be me. And I don't need anybody to define me or to help me form my opinion. I don't want to respond to what the public's opinion is. I want to set the tone and the table. And, you know, I only had my days working with Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe, both of whom I love like brothers. My only grievance with either one of them was when we'd go to break and they're looking at their phone and they're scrolling, like seeing what Twitter said in those days, Twitter. What did they say about what I just did?
Yeah.
As if they need validation that they won the argument. Wait, and then in my days with Stephen A., one guy in Alaska would say, "You just got your ass kicked. Aren't you embarrassed?" And we come out of break and we go back on live TV and he's angry at me for reasons I don't know. And then he might turn to his camera and say, "And I don't care what you say, I'm right about Tim Tebow," or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And he's out of his mind. I'm saying, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's because there was the one guy in Alaska who told him he just got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And I would say, you're so much better than that. You're Stephen A. freaking Smith. Just stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need validation. You don't want to let them creep into your psyche and define who you are on the air, to actually have play a role in how you're going to respond to me and then coming out of the next break. Seriously? So that's why.
Commendable. Yeah, I think it's a very human emotion and instinct being out in the public sphere and looking for that validation.
Do you guys look at what people say?
I try not to as much because of what you just described, where it's like I could see 100 positive comments and then one guy, and that will ruin my day. So I think I've gotten better as my career's gone
I was
on.
a one guy ruined my day guy. I started in 2009 on Twitter, and for maybe a year, I would look at my my responses, my mentions, and I would see one guy who said, "Your hair looks like shit today." And I would think, it does?
Yeah.
My hair looks like shit. Maybe it does.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. And it would start to affect my concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So why would I inflict that upon myself?
Yeah, no, it's smart. It's a good way to go through it. So your career, was there, I mean, you don't lack in confidence. I think that's fair to say. Was there a moment though where you, not a light bulb moment, but let's say a light bulb moment where it's like, oh, I can do this, and I have a skill here, and this is what, I'm good on air, I'm good on radio. Was there that moment for you, or did you just always think, hey, I'm the best, I can do this?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I have that moment. So, quick background story. I began to do things for ESPN in like 1989. I started being a regular on what was called Sports Reporters with Dick Schaap back in the day, Mike Lupica, Tony Kornheiser, Bob Ryan. And I found right away I liked the medium. It was good for me because I could really, I'm more introverted off camera, but I could really come out of my shell and just be me. And that's the real me on camera more than off camera. And ESPN liked what I did, so they started a show called Cold Pizza, whose remnants are still First Take, but they started in 2004, and Mark Shapiro was running ESPN and called me and said, "You've done a lot for us. I need you to come to New York and try to help us save my show," because that was his signature morning show based in New York City. It was a show loosely based on sports that was sort of the GMA, Good Morning America, of ESPN. Mm-hmm. Not a great idea, because if you want GMA and you're just a casual sports fan, you'll probably just watch GMA.
Right.
And they were getting no ratings. So he said, "I love you as a debater. It's what you do best. I'm going to sports up Cold Pizza. I want you to do 4 segments a day It was with Woody Page at that point because he was already on the show. You guys go back and forth 4 times a show, and let's see if we can spike the ratings, which we started to do. But the first morning I was there, we did one rehearsal for the showrunner, who was not a sports guy, named Brian Donlin, who became a good friend of mine. So we go into the debate. It was just something we did trick up at that point just to see how it felt. We were going live the next day, and 2 sentences flew out of my mouth. I went first, and Brian Donlin came running out of the control room down onto the floor of the New Yorker Hotel at 34th and 8th in Manhattan, where we shot the show, and screamed at me, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
All right. Yeah. He says, "You're way too fucking hot for morning television." And I'm like, "Brian, trust me on this. This is what you need for morning television." And that was a eureka moment, because I stopped him in his tracks, and he shook his head and he said, okay, just take it down 1 notch for me and we'll be okay. So we finished the rehearsal and I took it down 1 notch, and then the next morning I took it 2 notches back up. And the rest was ratings history, because they eventually pulled every plug in New York City on ESPN, Stephen A's Quite Frankly, and they had Howie Schwab, Stump the Schwab, and Josh Elliott on ESPN Classic. All plugs got pulled, but they couldn't pull the cold pizza plug because we were making money, because we were starting to rate, in large part because of the debates.
Right.
Because we were actually doing some hardcore sports talk in the midst of the pet segments and the ballpark food segments and the cigar segments that were Good Morning America on ESPN.
Yeah.
So from there, they just took us up to the mothership in Bristol and rebranded us First Take, and the rest is history.
So that is the kind of a light bulb
that was a moment.
Yeah.
It was like this one segment actually deserves its own show, deserves to be have other shows even packaged around the idea that this is our centerpiece in the mornings. At what point did you first debate Stephen A. Smith, and did you realize instant chemistry?
I did, and that is also a great question.
Great question.
Thank you.
That was in Los Angeles in 2002. We were both on Jim Rome's show on what was called Fox Sports Net. It was the forerunner to FS1's today. And Jim did a show called The Last Word on Fox Sports Net, and he would frequently have different sort of sparring partners on. He loved me. And one day, fatefully, I got paired with this guy, Stephen A. Smith. And I got a kick out of him from day one. And right away, we got into it about some NBA topic. And Jim became a spectator at a tennis match where his head was just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I knew right away this had magic to it. We just clicked, because he has the greatest gift of gab in the history of television, in my view. And there's something about his respect for me was instant, and you have to be able to respect where he let me go hard at him. He's got a big ego, and I love him, but he has a huge ego because he's earned a huge ego. And yet he already had it then, and he allowed me to go right at him and to make little jokes about him and to insult him in the realm of the debate. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you're talking about. No one can tell Stephen A. that, but I just knew right away he's going to let me say that to him because he didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
So I was just telling him the truth. You're just so wrong about this because of X and Y and Z. Yeah, but and he loved for me to set tables for him because he's a great reactor as opposed to a pre-actor. I'm more of a pre-actor where I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. And he can sit back, stroke his chin and say, wait a second. And he can take my point D and say, did you just say that X is Y? Yeah, I said that. What do you make of it? And here we'd go off on a tangent that he was comfortable playing over here in that might not be the question that was originally asked by Jim Rome. And I knew you can't teach that. You can't coach it. You guys know it. You have it. It's connection. It's chemistry that either happens or it does not happen. And there's no manager, there's no showrunner. I don't know what you guys go through behind the scenes,
Hank
but
tells us what to do all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the puppet master. Yeah.
well, that's fine. And yet he can't tell you exactly what to say when it's time to say it. And right away, I'm in your flow right now, and it's really a beautiful place to be because it's magic. You have it. And I don't know why you have it. You could thank God, or you could thank the gods of Barstool. I don't know. Something happened that connected the two of you, and you play off each other, and you're comfortable with the flow of this, and you don't step on each other. And I don't know if you ever fight off the air, whatever. You probably do, because I did with Stephen A. occasionally, because it's what happens when you're doing this, although you guys don't do it at the sort of go for the throat level that we did. But the point is, I just knew right away that he liked me, that turned into loved me.
So
right?
And it all. I love that answer, because chemistry is the most important thing. We don't really fight off air. The only time we ever really had was the dip spit.
The dip spit. I accidentally left a bottle of dip spit. I used to.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was all the way to the full.
But it might not have been my bottle.
It had no cap.
But it
on
also might not have been my bottle.
Okay, but real quick, so would there ever be a show where Big Cat thinks that PFT jumped in too much, or
we've never fought about anything like that.
No,
like
not,
that.
never.
Not like to the point of arguing about something on the show.
Okay.
I mean, I'll say this: we've been doing this for 8+ years.
Yeah.
There's definitely shows where I'll walk away and be like, "Oh, that wasn't our best," but we consistently are doing it every time. And there's also a lot of shows where I'm like, we'll say it out loud, like, "That was a great show. Like, we hit everything.
Okay.
We were in the flow."
Sure. Okay.
So I'm very curious, because what you said was kind of beautiful about chemistry, and I believe in it big time. What we have here is special, and I don't take that for granted. You're now, though, kind of going out on your own. So is there part of you that is going to miss that? And are you a little, not scared, because I don't think you probably ever get scared. Maybe if Charles Barkley showed up to your door, you might get scared. We can get to that later. But
my wife would handle him. Trust me.
okay, yeah. Shout out Ernestine. Is there, though, a piece of you that's like, I don't know if I want to do this solo, because I don't have that foil, someone to go back and forth with, play tennis almost?
Also a good question, because now, ironically, I'm coming after you guys. Like, I want to do what you did. I did the linear TV at the highest level, and I needed another challenge, and this is it. You were in the right space at the right time, and you guys are extraordinary. Not just you guys, but the whole Barstool universe is extraordinary, what you have achieved in a fairly short time. So maybe I'm a little late to the party, but I need to be late to the party because I need that challenge. And I found over the last 2 years on linear TV, as those ratings start to erode slowly but surely, that people want video, they want digital, and I was reaching far more people with my videos, with my tweets, than I was on linear television. And it was an eye-opener to me till, this was 2 years ago, I'm saying, I got to go do this. And yet I got to take baby steps, because the hardest thing I'm finding right now is to find the right foil figure. I'm still doing my solo podcast. I just go solo for an hour. I don't know if anybody does that on the internet the way I do it. And it's fine. And I can scratch the itch, but we are now trying to develop 3 or 4 different shows, an interview show, a debate show. I'm even thinking very strongly. Every time I had Ernestine on air with me on Undisputed, the ratings went through the roof. And we're thinking about she and I doing a show together, because she is a live wire fireball. She's the only one who will shut me down.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about even trying that. But the foil figure for the debate show has been very difficult for me to find so far.
Right.
And we are scouring the backwaters for it.
We'll get back to Skip in a second. He's being brought to you by Coors Light. There's no sports experience quite like the rivalries between college football teams. And now on Saturdays, you can get even closer to the action with Coors Light and DraftKings. Coors Light teamed up with DraftKings for the free-to-play college football pick'em pool, where you pick winners for a chance to win big. And when the rivalries heat up, choose chill. Reach for an ice-cold Coors Light. When you're looking to keep it chill, there's only one beer to choose from. That's Coors Light. I'm going to drink, I don't know how many plural. I'm going to drink plural Coors Lights this weekend. It's great beer drinking weather outside. When you're looking to keep it chill, reach for that Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans, they turn blue when your beer is cold. When things heat up, it's a good time to choose chill and then crack open a Coors Light. Saturdays just got hotter. You can choose chill with Coors Light and DraftKings. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. 21 and up. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/Coors Light Pick'em. Check out the Coors Light Pick'em on DraftKings.com/Coors Light Pick'em. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And now here's more Skip Bayless.
Yeah. So and you obviously leave FS1. What is it? A month or two ago.
Yeah.
The ending with Shannon. People talk about. Are there any regrets there? Because obviously it felt like what you were talking about, where PFT9 we don't fight off air, but it felt like it was kind of a real fight on air at times, and viewers can see that and feel that, and that's where it might turn a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Trust me on this. I love that guy. And we were together for 7 years in a very different way than you guys are together, because we took it up a notch from Stephen A. and I, because in the end, Stephen A. is more of a showman, an entertainer. So our debates could be a little sillier than the ex-pro football player now in the Hall of Fame versus me, because I do know football, and I would take it to whatever depth Shannon wanted to go to on X and O football. Wherever he wanted to go, I'll go there, because I learned from a lot of great people in this business. I learned from Don Shula and Bill Walsh and Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson. I know football. I don't know the jargon that Shannon knows about 22-man and bomb blitz and whatever the Denver Broncos used or the Baltimore Ravens used for jargon, but we would get into it about football, and he would get miffed occasionally that I would dare to go that deep with him about football when I didn't play football. Mm-hmm. And I've said this from day one, my experience debating pro football or basketball players is the greater they were at playing, sometimes the less they actually can explain about why that or that or that happened. Because not that they didn't work hard, but it came so naturally to them that they can't see or feel exactly why it works. See Michael Jordan as the team builder in Charlotte, who was the biggest disaster of a general manager in the history of sports. The greatest performer and player in the history of sports, was the worst team builder in the history of sports for those many years in Charlotte, because he couldn't see why can he play and he can't, because he was too supremely gifted at what he did. Yeah. Okay, so we would clash occasionally on the football part. Don't you understand? I'm in the hall. Yeah, I get it. I understand, but that doesn't mean I can't have an opinion that's correct about whether he can or can't play. So my point is, I loved every minute with Shannon, but we took it to levels of supreme debate where it went right to the edge and occasionally slightly over the edge of competitive. Yeah. To where we got mad at each other. And by the 7th year, it's a long time, man. We had some great runs. We did some big ratings numbers, trust me, that will never be touched again in FS1 history, I doubt. God bless them, but I doubt it. But the point was that, in year 7, did we fray a little bit? Sure we did. But I fought for him to stay, and I don't know what happened between Shannon and the people upstairs, because I was not privy. Right. But he went before I went, and it tore me apart. Yeah. I did not want him to go. And I told him the last day, I sat with him in his dressing room and I said, I envy you because you're going to get to go do what I want to do.
Right.
I still had a year left on my deal. And he got pushed out the back door and it tore me up and I missed him.
So what would happen when you would go? I like the idea of supreme debate, by the way. It's like it's almost like nirvana. You've reached the higher path. It's like an ayahuasca of debate.
Yeah.
You've gone through the wall.
True.
But what would happen when it would get frayed a little? Like the famous, obviously, the Tom Brady, that moment.
That was the moment.
Yeah, that was the moment. But what happens after the cameras are off? Is it fuck you? Is it don't talk for a while? Like what? Tell us as viewers how that comes back together a little bit, or did it not come back together?
I showed him from day one in 2016, shortly after you guys had started. Our first day was September 6th, 2016. We were
March 2016.
6 months old.
Yeah.
So you were about 6 months ahead of us.
Okay.
I tried to make him understand because I handpicked him because I really thought he could do this and he can do it and did do it because Shannon works hard at the craft. He was always prepared and always on time and always there for me. And I love him for that. And I will be forever grateful to him for what he gave to me for 7 great years, or maybe 6.5-ish, because now to these incidents, the one. Okay, so I think I misunderstood some of what he was saying, but what we're talking about Brady, and I'm a Brady fan. I don't even know Tom Brady, but he won 7 of these, and I can make a case he should have won 8 because I still don't understand why Bill Belichick benched Malcolm Butler for the Phillies Super Bowl. I don't get it. I've not heard a rational, reasonable explanation of what happened, but he played the most snaps on defense, and then he doesn't play any snaps in the Super Bowl, and I don't get it. Something must have happened behind the scenes, but both Tom and Malcolm said nothing happened behind the scenes. My point is, it's hard to rip that. It's hard to criticize that as savagely as Shannon began to criticize Tom Brady. And I just couldn't get it. And so at one point he says to me, you do understand I'm in the Hall of Fame? And I said, yeah, but you're not in this guy's universe. He won 7 Super Bowls. Nobody's in his universe. And Shannon got mad about somehow I'm disparaging his career. Well, no, he won 3 Super Bowls and he's in the Hall of Fame. And there was some misunderstanding to it, but there was no lingering fight about it. And when we went to commercial, I tried to show him from day one, when we go to commercial, I am letting all of it go. I'm passionate about it, but I also know the show must go on. So I'm going to walk away for a second, as I always did. I walked over to my little desk, and I began to prep for our next debate. And I let it go. People who ran the show decided we should maybe sit down after that one, and we did, and we had a great talk about it, and we hugged and went on to the next day. So we were really good.
Yeah.
We got through it, but that was the only day I can remember where he actually got mad on the air.
You could see it, and that's where it gets uncomfortable, where it's like the chemistry
And I told you, once you cross that line, audience is like, we're out.
Yeah.
So that's the danger you run when you do supreme debate.
That's supreme debate. And I needed ayahuasca after that.
Yeah.
Right?
You've reached levels that no man has ever reached. Debate.
So Shannon leaves, and like we talked about, you're trying to find your foil. Good luck with that. I really hope. I mean, in my own personal dreams, I would hope that at some point you and Stephen A. somewhere down the line could link back up again.
You never know.
What's the percentage chance of that happening?
I have no idea. We tried in 2020. To his credit, my deal was up after my first 4 years. So I've been there from 2016 to 2020. And he did his darndest, and I did my damnedest to reunite with him. And they did make an offer, and I was unaware I had a matching clause in somewhere at the very bottom in very fine print of my contract that was standard to all contracts. I was told I had one at ESPN that I was not aware of. And not only did Fox match, they did sweeten the pot Thank you to Lachlan Murdoch for that. So they tried to make it happier for me to stay, but I tried everything in my power to rejoin him because I missed him dearly. No disrespect to Shannon. I'd done 4 years with Shannon. I wanted to go back with Stephen A. And then ESPN came up with a second idea of a hybrid show whereby I would stay on Undisputed, he would stay on First Take, but every afternoon we would reunite for 30 or 45 minutes to do ESPN Plus together, digital show. And we tried to make it happen, and it's just, there are too many egos involved on both sides to
I
have
can see how
those
that would be
two.
messy. Two competitors, Fox doesn't want to give anything to
Okay,
ESPN
they
Plus.
don't,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So that never got off the ground.
Well, I hope you find somebody. I hope you find your next foil, and I hope that foil is Stephen A. Smith somehow.
Thank you.
But Shannon goes on. He's obviously done
he's-
really well
oh.
at ESPN on his own. Did you happen to see his Instagram Live?
I did not.
You heard about the Instagram Live?
I heard about it, but give me some details.
Okay.
He was
Puppy.
engaged with in an activity.
Oh,
I thought
yeah,
you were
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
actually.
Okay,
I thought we were
okay,
gonna
got it.
reenact it.
Okay.
Okay.
Puppy.
Puppy.
And that it was like that for about 20 minutes.
Can't believe we just did that in front of Skip Bayless.
Oh, wait.
It was very authentic.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah. But you didn't see anything. It was audio only. When I saw it, I was like, I need to turn on notifications for Skip Bayless because I thought you might have a take about it.
Yeah.
When you first saw it.
So, do you have a take about it now that you've heard it from us?
I have no take about it. Do you guys have a take about it?
I think it's a perfectly normal
Healthy
activity
male.
Okay.
that a healthy male was engaged in, and
Yeah.
both parties seem to be enjoying themselves. And
I'll buy that.
and
Do you need to
accidents
hear it
happen.
again? I feel like you maybe want to hear it again so that you can have a take about it.
No, I'll wait until later today.
Okay.
Or maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just be careful with your phone. It might
Yeah,
be
be careful with your phone.
It might just go live at
Yeah.
any given time, and we'll never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you find whoever that next foil is. Doing
Thank you.
the podcast by yourself. You said you did it for an hour, so it's just an hour of
Takes.
Skip, hour of takes.
Straight takes, hard, long form, bearing my soul, emptying my heart, all the passion spills, and I've been doing it for a couple of years. I kind of did it with my left hand at Fox just to have some outlet, something else besides Undisputed. And yet my greater passions lie in all these other shows that we are developing.
Yeah. Did you find that over the years your enjoyment of sports has increased or decreased?
Increased.
I love that
Yeah.
because you talk to a lot of people in the business and they say, like, after being around it for so
Burned
long,
out.
you get
Yeah.
either burned out or you get numb to it.
Yeah.
I like hearing that you're getting more excited by sports.
I mean, my God, I watched Vanderbilt University beat Alabama, and it was the greatest moment of my sports watching existence on this planet, to where I felt a joy that I'm getting goosebumps as we speak, that lingers, that continues on through the week for me. I felt a satisfaction that I could spill out in my podcast that dropped this morning that I've never felt watching a game. And I'm still going strong, those things are happening. They're still out there. I was watching the Dodger game last night, and they used 8 pitchers. And I'm thinking, well, you can't do that. I grew up in an era with Bob Gibson going 9 every night in 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I'm watching Dave Roberts use 8 bullpen. He's going 1 inning, 1.1 inning. And I'm thinking, this is absurd, the way the evolution has changed in this game. So I'm fascinated. I can't stop talking about all these things that drive your lives.
Right.
Right.
Is there a take or an opinion that you wish you had back, or one that you're like, man, that was dumb? Or do you just always look forward, never look back?
I would tell you the truth. I'm telling you from my soul, I have no regrets. If you have one you want to throw at me.
Oh, I got a bunch.
Okay.
Derek Fisher will prove to be a much better NBA head coach than Steve Kerr.
Okay. I love Derek Fisher.
Yeah,
and I
but
still believe in him.
Steve Kerr's won a lot of titles.
Yeah. Okay. What year was that? Help me
That
out.
was 2014.
Okay. I still believe in Derek Fisher, right place, right time. I just do.
This. All right,
here's the thing Big Cat's not understanding. At that time, he could have been right.
Yeah, you could have been right.
Everything's wrong in the benefit of hindsight.
All right, here's one. Manti Te'o, the next Ray Lewis.
Yeah. I didn't know about the fishing incident that was about to transpire.
All right, so you weren't from like there was material change.
Okay.
All right, I like how this is good.
Okay, like Johnny Manziel. I thought he could go to Cleveland and take the town over to where he'd be bigger than LeBron James ultimately, because football is way bigger than basketball in Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And yet I said repeatedly on the air, and my bosses did not like it, I said if he ever has drug or alcohol problems that plague him going forward into the NFL, because I'd heard lots of stories, I said, I'm out.
Yeah.
So he did, and I was out.
That was smart.
Okay.
What about this one? Long term, give me Josh Freeman over Cam. Better leader, more consistent passer, more clutch, more poised under fire, more careful with the ball.
Yeah. Loved Josh Freeman at Kansas State, and loved they went 10-6 at Tampa.
He's just wriggling out of these.
I'm not wriggling. I'm telling you.
Wait, what year was that?
That was 2012.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He also.
I think you were Skip. I'm trying to take your side as many as possible.
Substance abuse.
Yeah. See,
issues.
this is watching.
But I can't
Picasso
know that.
paint. Yeah. No, you can't know that. It's material change.
But also Cam Newton won an MVP in 2015.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty
Cam
good.
Newton was pretty good.
Cam Newton pretty clutch. He won a Heisman. That was a pretty crazy year. He won a national title with not a great Auburn.
But then he started dabbing.
He won another one at on the junior college level.
Yeah. He was pretty good. I mean, I like that you're able to find your way out of all these.
No, I can't know if they have off the field issues that are going to derail them. If you saw Josh Freeman beat Texas at Texas when he was at Kansas State and they were nothing, he was impressed. You're a college guy,
Josh Freeman, I like Josh Freeman.
And that year he's a Pro Bowler and they're 10-6, and I'm sure that's when I tweeted that.
But I am a college. Cam was really good in college.
He was. He had the issue at Florida that got him kicked out of Florida, right?
Yeah, but he was really good in college.
I think Cam Newton has seen that last year at Auburn. That might have been the best season of any college player of all time.
You could make the case.
Yeah.
But you didn't see Josh Freeman.
But Josh Freeman was also very good. He was second. He was number 2.
What about, so where are we at with LeBron right now? Now, I'm MJ over LeBron, but what does LeBron have to do for the rest of his career to maybe get a little bit of respect?
Respect. I mean, he's got respect.
He's got respect.
Listen, I still call LeBron the best passer in basketball. To this day, to this moment, he's the best passer in basketball. He is the greatest driver of the basketball I have ever witnessed on any level at any time. The poor man was just born without a clutch gene, and we see it again and again and again. So all of my LeBron debates have always been in the context that you started this question with.
Yeah.
MJ or LeBron, stop it. Don't even go there, because it's offensive to me. You would put those two in the same sentence, because LeBron could not carry Jordan's sneakers, and Mike's got a lot of sneakers to carry, right? So where is he now? He's played 20,000 plus more minutes than MJ played, 20,000 more minutes than Michael Jordan played, and he's the greatest scorer in the history of basketball, even though he's a 74% free throw shooter for his career, which is pathetic given his magnitude as a scorer. As a three-point shooter, he's at 34.8%, which among active players ranks in the 200s, and among all players all time ranks in the 700s of three-point shooting. Yet he's the greatest scorer ever because of longevity, because he has stayed healthier at a high level. He's obviously supremely gifted as a driver of the basketball, so he leads the world in scoring while he's a poor three-point and a poor free throw shooter, and the second is more inexcusable because they're called free throws for a reason. They are free shots from 15 feet unguarded, and Michael Jordan made 84% career from the free throw line. LeBron's at 74%. Larry Bird shot 89% for his career because they're called free throws. Look how many points LeBron has left on the table over the years. So that debate ended long ago, and yet I remind you, we've seen back-to-back Denver series, LA-Denver series, in which in fourth quarters, LeBron has been more pathetic than ever.
No clutch gene.
Yeah, no clutch gene.
Lacks the clutch.
So what is the clutch gene?
It's being able to take and make the shot at the moment to win the game.
And Jordan obviously had the clutch gene.
The greatest ever.
LeBron, no clutch gene. What about LeBron's other titles? What about Cleveland? Delhi carried him.
Well, no, I mean, LeBron's a great player. I mean, he's obviously a very gifted passer and all-around player, but he needs somebody else to take and make the Kyrie shot that won Game 7 at Oakland, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's an interesting thought experiment. We're not going to do LeBron versus MJ one-on-one right now, but what about MJ right now? How old is he? Is he 55, 60?
No, his 50th birthday was... He's like 50.
I'm not sure.
Oh no, he might have been his 60th.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It might be around
64.
Yeah.
Let's just say Michael Jordan right now.
I believe
Okay.
he's 64. Let's see. 61.
61-year-old Michael Jordan, one-on-one against Bronny. Who wins?
That's amazing. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Mike would just intangible him. He would out trash talk him. And by the way, I love Bronny because they raised him right. He's such a great kid. And
LeBron's a very good father.
Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
You can see it.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can. It's manifested itself in number one son. I mean, what a great kid. JJ Redick keeps saying he's so coachable, and yet it's ripping my guts out to watch Bronny through the summer league when he didn't even belong in summer league, let alone G League. And now I kept saying, okay, maybe when he's alongside his father, it'll bring out the best in Bronny because he got raised around all the superstars. Maybe he'll rise to that occasion. So now I've seen 14, 13-minute stints in 2 preseason games, and it's summer league all over again.
Yeah.
I've seen him make one basket late in the first game that he played, a little left-handed layup, and I'm like, really? Then I watch him again on the night that he actually is sharing the floor with his father for the first time ever, and he plays 14 minutes and he turns it over 4 times and he scores 0 points. And I'm saying, I don't know if he can play. Seriously. So it's everything LeBron has lasted for was to play with his son. And what if his son just can't hack it?
Yeah.
What if he doesn't deserve any minutes with the big league team? And I know LeBron well enough to tell you, it's beneath the family's dignity for Bronny James to play in the G League for the South Bay Lakers. I don't think they want that because it's disgraceful. Like it's below who their stature that they've earned.
Yeah.
I think it's a very cool moment though for
Yeah.
LeBron and his
yeah.
son. It's a great story.
Okay,
but
it's a great
how are they
story.
gonna
And
manage
then
it
what?
for a season? Yeah.
Okay, then what?
Yeah.
Can the kid back it up?
Yeah.
What if he's getting 10 minutes a night and that kid Max Christie who's starting to come along? What if he's going to JJ saying, seriously? What if all of a sudden Jared Vanderbilt or any of the guys, Cam Reddish down the bench, they're going to JJ saying, you got to stop this. It's insanity. He just can't play. Then what happens? Does it start to tear the team apart?
Yeah. No, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
It's a fair question. Well, I have a couple last questions here because I know you're going to do something else in the office. One question is, when you were in Bristol, you basically renovated a hotel room and got
I did.
Is that right? And you got a satellite on top.
I
Explain
did.
this because this is like I'm obsessive about making sure I can watch all the games, but this is to another level.
Okay. So they moved our show from New York to Bristol, and I had met my wife, Ernestine. We weren't husband and wife, but we were together. We were living together in Manhattan. She had a great job in Manhattan. All of a sudden, I got to go to the mothership 2 hours away up into central Connecticut. And I realized the first day I was there, as I stayed in the Residence Inn, which is in Southington, Connecticut, just down the street from Bristol ESPN, I really liked it. So why would I buy a place if they'll pick up the tab? And they said, sure, well, you could stay there as long like 365, I'll do it. Done. So I made it my home away from home. And they loved me so much. They took care of me. I was there almost like their child upstairs. I was on the top floor. They let me have a satellite dish installed right outside my window on the top floor of the Residence Inn. I bought my own furniture. I got my own exercise equipment into the room. It was a great room. And it was some of the most fun I ever had because they came in and cleaned every day.
Yeah,
and
nice.
they gave me fresh towels every day.
Right.
I loved it. It was some of the happiest days, of course, career-wise.
Yeah.
It was the happiest
That's
time of my life.
incredible, though. Getting that's
The Residence Inn. And so I
commitment
would
to
go
the
back
game.
to New York on Friday afternoon and be with Ernestine. And yet she started to like it so much, she started taking my car service car up to Bristol for the weekend and do a reverse trip where she would stay with me at the Residence Inn because she enjoyed the people, and they're just good folks.
It's
I
a nice
miss
little
them.
vacation from Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, I work in Manhattan Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, then I
Right.
leave to get out of the city.
I go to
nice,
Bristol.
beautiful
That's
Bristol,
incredible.
Connecticut. Go to
Incredible.
Lake Compounce Water Park and the Watch Museum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that.
Magical
incredible.
place.
Yeah.
So Big Cat alluded to it earlier, but have you ever had the occasion to cross paths with Charles Barkley?
Yes.
No.
He has said he wants to kick your ass.
No,
I think
he has said
that-
way more than that.
He said he wants to
kill you.
Kill
Kill you
word.
on
Yeah,
live
the K
television.
word.
I think he said on the Dan
K-word.
Patrick show, he said, if I'm ever diagnosed with like a life-threatening
did.
illness, just invite Skip Bayless on the show so I can kill him on live TV.
Yeah.
So you've never got a chance to meet him.
This is the closest I got. But I'm pretty sure this wasn't the genesis of all this because I was just a columnist in Dallas, Texas for the Dallas Morning News or maybe the Times Herald at this point. Spud Webb, then big NBA star, won the slam dunk contest, good friend of mine. Players honored him and respected him so much that he would put on a big all-star game every summer in Dallas, and everybody would come. Magic would come, Bird would come, Charles Barkley would come. And occasionally I was asked to be a celebrity coach of a team, but I would actually have to make substitutions with the players. So one year, Charles was on my team. I tried to introduce myself to Charles before the game, and he was uninterested in whoever the hell I was. And yet I did have to take him in and out of the game. So true story, near the end of the game, I leaned over and said, Charles, you want to go back in? I'd like to try to win the game. And he said, brother, I want to win the game too, but my shit hurts. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I put somebody else in, and it was, who was I just went blank on the Kentucky, the white kid shooter, Rex Chapman. Okay. So I put Rex Chapman in place of Charles, and Rex Chapman hit the game winner. That's a true story.
It's like Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was. Bingo. So that was as close as I ever got to Charles. And then as soon as I started doing this and that for ESPN in the early 2000s, he started on his tirades against me on, back in the day, Leno and Letterman and Dan Patrick. And I have no idea, but it got so bad that my wife Ernestine and her mother, God rest her soul, when she was alive, started to take it very personally because their point to me was there might be one psycho out there who listens to Charles and idolizes Charles and decides to do Charles's bidding and take you out. So you've got to figure out some way to get him to stop using the K word. He can rip
K-word,
and slash all he wants. I don't care. And I used to publicly thank Charles because he hung on every word I said on television, and I appreciated that. He was our most loyal fan of our show. But I finally went on my podcast a year and a half ago and just beseeched him to please stop using the K word just for the sake of my wife and her mom.
And did he?
And I'm pretty sure he has. I don't on a daily basis.
So we're off the K
but,
word. That's
yeah,
good.
I think he quit the K word.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's maybe one day we can bury the hatchet between you two. Because you're
Okay.
right. It sounds like he does listen to what you say.
Yeah.
He gets mad at it.
I have no idea. I don't get what his issue is with me, and yet we would have Kenny Smith on, had him on a couple of times on First Take, and he would always say, you guys are too much alike. And I'd be like, me and Charles are alike, but he said just opinion-wise, he wants his opinion to be the opinion, and he hears yours, and maybe he thinks, God, I wish I'd thought of that, or whatever. Maybe there's some jealousy or resentment. I don't know, but I got nothing against Charles whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think people will ask us because on Wednesday's episode, our guest was Troy Aikman. So he was just on. Where are we at with Troy? Are things better? Are things worse? Have we
we're
gotten
in
together and talk?
touch. We're friendly. He about my book that I wrote.
Yeah. Did you imply or did you say he was gay? In the book?
I did not say. You didn't read it.
I didn't know.
obviously.
No, I don't know.
We don't read.
I understand, and I respect and appreciate.
Thank you for respecting that.
If you had read
Yes.
my book, you would love the way I portrayed Troy in my book, because Troy was the hero of that book. I liked my portrayal of him, that I signed a book and hand delivered it, the very first copy of my book, to Troy on it would be the camp practice field at St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. First day of camp, practice ended, I took my book up and gave it to him. And I was shocked that originally he did not like it, but we have come back around and he's been nothing but great to me. And we text, and I did catch your show with him, and I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was.
And he did it because he loves Joe Buck like a brother, and Joe loves you guys and loves being on your show. And so it was clear to me he was cool with you because you're so cool with Joe.
Yeah. All right, so I had one last question. This has been great, Skip. We really appreciate you coming in. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. 72 years old?
Yep. Going on 32, but...
Yep. I mean, it is. You have more energy than everyone here. How many more years you got?
Endless. I don't know. I never think about that.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't.
So we could have like a Skip Bayless 90-year-old screaming about
you could.
LeBron's grandchildren.
You could.
Your lips are God's ears.
I hope I'm screaming about Bronny.
Yeah.
But doesn't feel
like
right
that.
at this
No,
point.
No.
Because it feels like you're not gonna stop doing what you do, because like you said, that is your life.
It's my life.
Like, there's no retirement for Skip Bayless.
I don't even think, like my wife, every time somebody brings that up somewhere, we see it somewhere, she just laughs out loud at it. Like they don't get you. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's the last thing in your universe is I want to gear down.
Right.
I want to gear up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Get back to the Supreme Debate.
Supreme Debate,
No one's
yeah.
ever done it
Debate.
before.
Yeah, you're like a guru. You like live at the top of a mountain, and occasionally people walk up the steps. How do I achieve
Yeah.
Supreme Debate?
I love the idea of Supreme Debate. You and Shannon reached debate levels that have never been reached in the
Okay.
world.
True.
We did, actually.
Yeah.
And we took it right to that tiniest razor's edge.
It was dangerous.
And then we're like teetering on the razor's edge, and then we slip and we cut our foot.
People think they want to reach Supreme Debate, but if you're
No.
not prepared for it,
No.
it will end in a disaster.
Yeah.
Like try,
It's
you don't
fast.
send somebody out on a surfboard and send them to Portugal during the storm and be like, go learn how to surf.
And seriously, when you reach that level with Stephen A. and then Shannon, once you've been there, you're going to love those two humans like you've never loved anybody the rest of your born days, because you went someplace with them no one's ever gone.
Right. You
Right?
have something in common
Right.
with them that no other human. It's
That's
it's
it.
almost like the guys who walked on the moon. Like there's only a few of them.
It's beyond that.
Yeah, right.
It's just
Like you
beyond
can only relate to those guys.
It's like tantric debate almost. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss writing?
I'm going to write a book. I'm just about ready to start it, about my wild ride through television. So I do miss it, and I'm going to reach hard for it very soon.
All right.
Okay. Well, Skip.
I will read it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. This has been great.
Hey.
Anytime you're in the city, we'd love to have you back on. So good luck with everything, and really, really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. I feel like I went into your supreme place with you guys today that very few get to occupy.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been tantric. Is that?
It's tantric.
This is
We
been
can do the
a tantric
Shannon Sharpe
experience.
thing again if you want.
No.
All right.
I'll
Also,
I'll
I was
check it
right,
out.
by the way. I do have a tweet where you said MJ versus LeBron, who would win in horse. So I was right.
Horse?
Yeah, you said horse.
I don't think we did it on the air. I just remember doing one-on-one.
Yep. Yeah, I have horse.
What about this? What if,
I have horse.
What if LeBron retires and you just
Well, in horse.
In horse, you.
Well, couldn't
I'm
Mike
pulling
just
it
go
up.
to the free throw line and start shooting
That's
free
a
throws?
fact. So the question
great
is, why
point.
would you have that debate? Because it's so clear. Who would win that?
What year was that?
Hold on, let me find it.
You've dug deep.
Yeah. All right. So this was 2020, April 6th.
Oh,
So
really?
COVID. You said this will be an all-time great. Who wins a game of horse between Jordan in his prime and LeBron in his?
I just
now
remember on
undisputed-
air many times we did one-on-one.
I know, but
Yeah.
you did horse. That's
Okay.
also
All right,
now that
you're
I'm
right,
looking at
you're
it.
right.
That's COVID.
You got me. You got me.
You needed something.
You're
during
right.
COVID.
You finally won a debate from me.
There we go.
Right
There we
there.
go. I've
Yeah.
defeaed. I've done what.
Congratulations.
You should have
All right.
LeBron on
Hey,
as your co-host.
I congratulate both of you for all your success,
Thank
and
you.
may it continue for many years.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
okay.
you, Skip.
Welcome back to another Fyre Fest of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. You know what really sucks? Having to wake up early, extra early on Sunday to watch the England game and then sit around all day. I hope your team doesn't lose, Big Cat. I hope you win so you get a free play of Sunday football. Hope you're in a good mood all day because your team won. You know what else really sucks? Is when Max doesn't talk, because I miss Max. He contributes a lot to the show, and I think he's funny. I believe in Max's contributions. You're a valued member of this team, Max. And when you don't talk, it sucks. You know what doesn't suck? Is calling Morgan & Morgan so they can help you get what you deserve. Well, they can't help Philadelphia sports. They can help fight to get you full and fair compensation when injured. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. Love Morgan & Morgan. They're the best. They are the absolute best, and they sponsor Fyre Fest of the Week. You've seen them everywhere here at Barstool Sports. Their name is Courtside on the basketball court out here. They are the best. Check them out, forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone.
Okay, Fyre Fest of the Week. Let's wrap it up. Henry, everything's good?
Yeah, nothing crazy. The marathon. I mean, the marathon is it's a long route. It's directly. It blocks off every way for me to get to the office. I'm just gonna have to drive like 20 miles out of the way.
Why don't you park your car in a spot that you can get it on Saturday night? Did you think about that?
Overnight?
Yeah,
I could do that.
just find a garage. I mean, you just walk to your car on Sunday morning, or stay at Max's Super Bowl.
Could say Max's Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
What happened? Why did you say Super Bowl?
Because the night before the Super Bowl, I stayed
What happened?
in Hank's extra bed
Yeah,
because
Super Bowl.
I was too drunk to get back to
Your room,
correct.
which was down the hall.
No, that was when I
And
was
you didn't sleep on the bed. You slept on the couch, even though there was an extra bed.
It was all-
Super
I
Bowl.
don't-
In your puke shirt
and my
and
puke
your
shirt.
and the pants.
pants. No, the pants you put on the next day,
Yeah, I think the pants.
and you lost your phone.
I did those.
And one thing about you is that you could beat the fuck out of Hank.
We don't have to talk about that loss. We already talked about enough losses.
What
today.
loss was that? If I looked at the tweet,
I have it right here. Do you want me to say it?
yeah,
Okay, so
This is Fyre Fest. Let's
2022 Phillies blow World Series after 2-1 series lead. Also, they got no hit in that World Series.
yep.
2023, the Union lose in overtime. The Eagles blow second half lead in the Super Bowl.
That's what it was.
okay. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
Were they? They were.
He's got his hands in his fingers, in his ears again. What memes?
You could relive that on our YouTube. There's a vlog about it. There's also a vlog coming out tonight, or it should be out right now, about Max recapping the Phillies.
And Rumble.
And Rumble.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, memes.
Thanks, memes. Hank, that's your only Fyre Fest? Is that you don't know how to get here on Sunday?
Well, I was also upset about everyone hating on me and everyone saying I don't care and just all the hate online. And then I watched the NBA Starting Five documentary. Mm-hmm. Current guest Joe Mazzulla was one of the talking heads on it, wearing the Boston Barstool hat. Love to see it. Best friend. And they asked him about like Tatum dealing with hate, and his response was very Mazzulla-esque. He was like, "You mean he gets to deal with it? That's what you want."
So
Also,
you're just like Jason
you want to
Tatum.
be in that situation where you're getting the hate. You're on one of the best teams. Like that's what's going to happen.
Man in the arena.
He gets the privilege.
Yeah.
And that gave me perspective.
I also would like to come to Hank's defense here. We've been doing this show for a very long time. I think the beauty of the show is that we're not all the same. And PFT and I obviously are obsessed with football. Hank maybe not obsessed with all things football. But that's the beauty of it. We have a guy who maybe not obsessed with all things football. We have a dog in the booth. We have a guy who's angry trying to actively do a mutiny. And we have a big baby that won't talk about his teams anymore. We're
Who
from
also
all
hates
different
dogs.
Yeah, we're from just different.
I'm talking. I'm just saying that they're bad.
We're just different. We're different people. That's the beauty of the show.
Yeah.
We can't all be the same. That would suck.
So, Max, what we can't have you do, we can't have you turn to Hank, where after a loss you just don't talk. That would be the worst.
Oh, we already talked about it at the beginning.
That's true.
I got things to say.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh, no, that sounded like a threat.
I like it.
I just have thoughts.
I like it. I like Fiery Max.
Okay, good at Fyre Fest, Hank, and I have your back.
Thanks.
People we're at the point, I actually think this is partially the election coming up. I've had this theory that just everyone, I don't know why this thing's broken. I should stop playing with it. Everyone just gets way more on edge in an election year, but we're at the point now where we have millions of people who listen to this show, and 99.9% of them enjoy the show, and then there's 0.01 that will find every little thing to hate or nitpick. You just can't listen to them.
Yeah, but I want to be like, I don't care what they say. Then I'm like, wait, that plays into the whole thing of not caring. But I really just
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Meme just keeps asking if the
is
mutiny
mutiny off now?
Off.
No, the mutiny's still on. I love that we're having like a real moment here, and me just popped in, just been like mutiny. No, mutiny's still on, dude. I fucking replied yes in the calendar.
I'm down to be mutiny off. I'm out of the mutiny.
But it's not about the mutiny. It's about showing.
what did
Hank
Pug say to the mutiny?
Pug.
Looking it over. Still looking it over. Pug. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I told him if he said yes, no computers.
Pug, are you?
Oh, this is why we got a mutiny. The guy's fucking holding resources from you.
I also could get. It's just texting Pete. You could.
I could text him. This is how we get the power
Fine,
back.
yeah, I don't want to deal with it. I don't care.
What about Shane? Is Shane Hank in or Hank out?
All right, fine. I'm gonna change myself to a maybe on the
Shane's
mutiny.
gonna crack.
Shane's gonna crack. You're gonna crack him.
No. Hank's gonna crack him.
All right, I'm updated. I'm a maybe. I'm a maybe on the mutiny.
I'm just not replying to it.
BS.
I'd never reply to any calendar invites.
We know.
Yeah. It's against my whole ethos. Well,
Hank,
they pop up on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't need to reply to them.
Hank, don't listen to the haters.
I don't.
There's very, very small percentage of people that hate everything about each and every one of us in this room, and we can't listen to it.
Facts.
We love everyone else.
They don't boo.
I even love the haters. They're listening. They want Hank to be different. You're being authentic to you, which is not caring about anything but golf. PFT.
Pretty clean week, but I did notice something earlier today that affected me a little bit. I broke my nose when I was in college, when I was playing a rugby game, and I got it fixed after it had started to heal. I never got the entire surgery on it. The doctor just basically put a rod up my nose and then punched it back into place as best that he could. But I think it's getting more broken as I get older. You know how like people that get old, their face becomes more of whatever it was, like their features get more and more exaggerated.
Yeah.
I think that my nose is slowly migrating over to the side of my face as I get older. Because I caught myself if you wear a certain pair of sunglasses, it shows off like the bridge of your nose more. I think my nose is just moving to the side of my face as I get older.
Shit. You know who else had a fucked up nose?
Who?
Billy.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, don't say it. Don't put that evil out there. But yeah, I think my face is just gradually. I'm becoming a Picasso painting as I get older.
I do miss Billy's loud nose breathing when he would eat, and it would be like an animal.
Yeah,
He'd just be like,
yeah. He sounded like what Kenny G like plays the longest note ever on the saxophone. That was Billy when he was eating a sub.
so wait, what are you gonna do? Can you go get it fixed?
I don't know. I don't know what I can do, but I haven't like talked to a doctor about it since 2005, 2006.
I think I'm gonna go to a doctor, by the way, soon for a physical.
Okay, let me know.
Yeah.
Also, I have high cholesterol because I had a physical.
Yeah, I got to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm worried that they're going to be like, whoa, should have come in a while ago.
Yeah, that's kind of my big fear too. So when I got the results back, and then that was the weekend of a pup punk show, so we were eating dinner, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a salad. And then Frankie was like, yeah, I have high cholesterol. I was like, me too. And then Robbie was like, I also have high. We're the only punk band in America where we all have high cholesterol.
Damn.
What's more punk rock than that?
Nothing.
Getting my fuck lipids.
All right, I got 2 Fyre Fests. One is it's from both of my children. One or 2 of the 3 of my children. One is my daughter at school had to do a project. What is your what does your dad do for work? And her answer that was written down was plays around.
Yeah, it's fair. She's smart.
Oh, that one was a little moment where I was like, shit, she's kind of right.
Yeah. No,
She just plays around.
our job is recess.
It was like this whole thing I saw. It was just, you get doctors, you get everything, and it's just plays around. That's what I do. Play around.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, I was taking my son to T-ball with my daughter as well, and I was it was during the Mets Phillies game, so we took a break walking to the field, and I looked down at my phone while they were sitting on some steps taking a break, and to look at the Phillies score, and my son hit me so hard in the dick that it brought me to my knees, to the point that a random passerby actually said, "Do you need me to call someone?" Because I was on the ground, 2 little kids crying, like writhing in pain, and it made me reminded me of when we used to dick hit each other, and we should bring that back.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm ready. I'm warmed up. I get hit in the dick like 3 times a week, every week.
Well, Blake does go after my balls sometimes still, so I feel like I've developed calluses for those things.
But it was a direct punch when I wasn't looking, and it's whew.
Maybe your son's going to grow up to be like the next generation of jackass.
That would rock.
If he thinks that's funny already, like, yeah.
They didn't think it was funny because they saw me go. I went instant to my knees, then they started crying.
So maybe he's going to hate jackass.
Because they were like, Dad's hurt. And then the fact that a random stranger with a stroller literally walked by and just like, do you need me to call someone? It's like, dude, who are you going to call? Do you call the cops on my son?
Call the dick doctor.
It was bad. Max, you got Fyre Fest?
Yep. Last night.
Okay.
Last night after the game, I took like an hour and just kind of, dark room. Just had to think about everything that just happened in that game and the future of Philadelphia sports.
I feel like I know. I feel like I know what he's gonna say.
I don't think
text
you
it to
do.
you. I'll text it to Big Cat.
I don't think you do.
Okay, hold on.
I know that
Just
you're
hold
not.
on a sec. Just hold on a sec.
There's
Go ahead.
no
Keep
way.
going.
Just hold on a sec.
So I didn't eat during the stream because I was nervous. I know a fat joke, all crazy. You must have been super nervous. You weren't going to eat. So
okay, yeah, keep going.
and then I went to Kava and got a meal and sat down like by myself in like a corner, and a Mets fan came up to me and patted me on the back on his way out, and it was like, I assume it was an AWL. I couldn't really hear what he said because I had two headphones in listening to music, but I just got like a
You'll be okay.
and then he just walked away. I have no idea what he said.
You got there'd.
By like a stoolie.
Oh,
Yeah, that's tough.
We need that Mets fan to show his face.
But
I
good
want
for-
to shake his hand.
Good for that Mets fan.
Yeah,
That was nice.
that was really nice.
They could have rubbed it in.
Yeah.
Hank thought you would order Taco Bell to the wrong address, which would have been
Nope.
you.
Nope.
That would've
no.
been
That
you.
it was like I need to go eat healthy. I need to change.
You did Kava.
Yeah. I was healthy.
Not that. I mean,
It's like the
Just buy
healthy.
some new boxers.
It's like the healthiest fast.
every
food you
time I
can
go to
get.
Kava, I just get like 17 orders of the pita chips.
I got 0 orders of pita chips.
Okay, all right. So then it's healthy.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything? No pita chips?
0 pita chips.
Soda?
No soda.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
Any candy? Oh,
No candy.
no candy?
But breakfast I did. I mean, I went and got a turkey bacon egg white breakfast sandwich on a bagel, but I got a bagel.
That's fine.
Yeah.
How many sodas on the plate?
0 sodas. I had water.
What do you have for lunch?
Salad.
What are you going to have for dinner?
What'd you listen to?
I don't know. We're probably gonna eat like shit tonight. So
Yeah.
Good question, Hank. Was it techno?
Probably. I don't know. I thought about listening to Philly Sports Talk Radio, and then I was like, I can't do this.
No.
That's what I've been listening to all week. And
What are they saying on Philly Sports Talk Radio?
I mean, the Philly Sports Talk Radio is crazy. The best was the guys calling in after Wheeler's start, and after he threw 110 pitches through 7 innings on Saturday, and the guy's furious that they took him out in the 8th inning. That they want him to pitch 150 pitches.
Yeah, why not?
It's the playoffs.
If you don't, I mean, you go home if you don't.
I would never.
We're
I would
home.
never let the manager take the ball out of my hand. I would want the ball in my hand.
Max, I feel bad. I hope you can bounce back.
Also, butt crack pictures are just always out.
Well, that was something, so your underwear's ripped. That was a double whammy. All right, numbers 3.
5.
Come Come on, memes.
2.
I'm pushing you to be
11.
great, memes.
69.
I'm pushing you to be great, memes.
99 pug.
PFT and memes, you ever gotten this?
No, this would suck.
21.
What was your number, Max?
11.
I think you're going to get it. Wait, is 11 AJ Brown's number? Yeah. Oh, he's starting to believe again. 25. 25.
Love you guys.